good? I'm all good. We should be up on the YouTube as well now. Just
Yeah,
checking it.
Mo's just configuring that.
Technicals.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
also,
but I'm great, innit? Arsenal won. We're up. We're up.
yeah, we'll get to all of that. We'll get to all of that. But yeah, we also got a little ghost guest in the back. I don't know if he wants to introduce himself, but we maybe get to it in a little bit. He's also a Man United leaning fan as myself. But yeah, we're also live on the Frqncy YouTube channel as well. Yeah, so join us. If you're listening anywhere, get on that YouTube, get in the comments, talk to us, let us know how you're feeling about this weekend's Premier League results. We've got a lot to talk about. But yeah, United losing again at home, 14th loss this season. It's crazy, isn't it? But yeah, losing again against Arsenal this time, 1-0. To be honest, I don't think either fan base is too upset about it.
Why would you be upset we won?
Huh?
Why would Arsenal fan base be upset at all we won?
No, sorry, yeah, exactly. But United fans, I don't think are too mad about it at all. Both, no, as in like you'd be happy that 1-0 whatever. You didn't really create much or whatever. It wasn't too much of a. It wasn't a convincing win from Arsenal fans, but you got the result. That's why they might be a little bit like, if you know what I mean. But you got the win. That's what you came for. That's all that mattered. And yeah, United fans, we lost again, but we're letting Arsenal maybe get all the way down to the wire, potentially stopping from City from winning a title. Well, that's where I'm at anyway. But yeah, might as well start there, Mo. Got a smile on his face, ready to chat some shit.
I'm gonna be fair, and I'm gonna chat shit because United. There's a lot of reasons to chat shit about you, lot. But to be fair, I think we didn't play that well. I'll be honest, you lot made us. We didn't have to play very well. We started the game off all right. Casemiro decided that he only wanted to do half his job, and so we took advantage of a mad error in play.
I can't believe
And then after that, we were just like, let's be firm, give them nothing easy, and you lot didn't give us a reason to change the way we were playing.
Mate.
Now there was a few crosses into the box. More time Ryan collected them, and then, like I said, a couple we could have scored like on the counter. Martinelli had that try.
Couple half chances from Garnacho here and there.
But like even then,
Nothing really.
There was the one time he got through. I was a bit worried. Saliba done perfectly, snuffed him out. But other than that, I think we could have played that game till tonight. You wouldn't have scored.
Yeah, I agree. We didn't really look like we were threatening at all. We didn't create anything really.
Yeah, it's good. Listen, you lot got pumped by Palace. So from what you want to see from your players, they were doing that. They were running around. They would try
Yeah, we kept the ball a little bit.
The thing is, you lot don't know how to control the game. So I think that's part.
You know what? I'll be honest. I think the problem is not even that we had a lot of periods in that game where we had a lot of the ball. But it was quite clear that we just had no creative outlet at all. Like for me, as soon as I saw Bruno wasn't starting, I knew that we were gonna have, because he does it all for us in terms of going forward, whether it be creating chances, having a shot from 25 yards out, maybe scoring, getting a deflection. He's got that in him to put a little dangerous ball in. We've seen the defenders and the goalkeeper, but there was none of that for United today, and you can see how much we miss him when he's not in the team. So yeah, get fit soon, Bruno. Hopefully he's fit for the cup final. That's all we really care about at the moment. I'll be honest. Like I said this a few games back, I'll be happy if we didn't win a game for the rest of the season. I don't want us to be in Europe next season. I'd rather us just have the domestic competitions to compete in. It'll be better for Ten Hag, or even if we sack Ten Hag and get another manager in, it'll be better for him to just focus on those three competitions and try and build a proper squad, get rid of a lot of the dead wood, maybe focus on blood through the youth a little bit. I don't mind that. So yeah, and also like I said, I'd be happy if City didn't win the league again. Not saying I'd be happy if necessarily Arsenal won the league, but probably less upset if Arsenal won the league. However, it would be annoying because I know a lot more Arsenal fans than I do City fans.
So you really, it's like you're just picking your poison.
Yeah,
what I mean, is when United are winning the league, and unfortunately, the three teams competing for it, where three of your ops are just going down in decreasing sort of opness. So we're just the least of your ops, but we don't really want your support. I don't get it. There's no alliance.
It's not.
I want you man to fail. I want you man to lose your next game. I don't need you to be relegated or nothing. I'm not so that deep, but I enjoy your misery.
We enjoyed the Arsenal misery.
100%. I remember. That's why I enjoy it so much. Because I remember when I was down there weren't no sympathy.
Of course.
So now the tables are turned.
Yeah, it will take some time.
But you know what a gift that keeps on. We need to talk about that Palace before.
We've got to take. we got to take it at the end of the day. We're not very good. You know what I mean? That is what it is.
But you're not this bad. So let's get to the crux of it. United today. Today, Arsenal just needed to win, so we didn't want to risk it at 1-0. We didn't need a big score. We had 1-0, we held on to it. Because you weren't giving us enough reason to change the way the game was. Because we felt pretty comfortable we could defend it out and we had the goal.
Yeah.
So that was the game today. But so I think today's a good game to look at either team on terms of how they are. But your last few games,
yeah, that was a stinky game. Let's be honest. So both teams.
Noticeable Palace, the games against Coventry, games against Sheffield United.
Look, I'll be
United
honest.
have deeper. If you were playing like you were today in most games, it wouldn't be a problem. Even if you were in the same position. The problem is that teams are coming through you, having fun.
Bro, Johnny Evans apparently failed a fitness test before the Crystal Palace game and still played. Our situation at Man United is very dire. The teams that we're putting out are not very good. Like, it's quite clear to say that even if you want to talk about the system, whatever, our individuals that we're putting out, if they were better individuals, that system or whatever system that's been trying to be, any system that's trying to be played out on a pitch, if there's better individuals trying to play it out, it will work better. And Man United have not had their better individuals for the majority of this season.
I've seen shit players at Brighton. Brighton have had a mad injury by this year. And yeah, they're less effective, but they still look like the same team.
I get that, but
if I'm just saying to you,
Brighton haven't looked very good.
They've lost games, but they play the same way.
We're above Brighton, even though they've been playing better.
You should be competing with Brighton.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying
my point is Brighton are about
every time we play Brighton, they actually look like a much better team than us. But at the moment,
with Brighton. What I'm saying is,
we're not.
Brighton are about where you'd expect them to be, even though they've had mad injuries, because they're able to make sure that everybody plays the same way. So
I don't think we're too far off from where I expect us to be.
You didn't expect to be around. You're 8th today.
But I'm not gonna lie. If you told me for the majority of the season, we'd be playing Johnny Evans and Harry Maguire at centre back, and we'd have Rashford's injured here, Martinez injured here. We have no left back all season. Hold on, we haven't had a left back all season. Yeah, not one left back.
Let me just
Like,
let me add
there's
to the point. There's no balance in our back four.
yeah.
Actually, look at the back four. We're playing Wan-Bissaka out of position at left back.
Yeah, but your problem is only in the back four. Because I see your
massive
midfield.
problem.
No,
Imagine
actually
Arsenal
every
right
week.
now lost Ben White, Saliba, and Gabriel, and you had no replacements for you.
Listen, even if we're playing youth teams, your whole team. I hear you. Okay, cool. Your back four should be less good over the season. But there are times I've seen your front midfield line up fair games.
Okay, let's get to the midfield.
Last
and there's
gaps everywhere.
Cool. Let's get to the all right. Cool. Let's get to the midfield. Let's address bit by bit. We talked about the defense, yeah. The midfield. Last season, our success was wholly built on what? Casemiro and Eriksen. Casemiro was playing so well last season. He was giving us exactly what we thought we were signing from Real Madrid, and he was amazing. Eriksen, on top of that, he built off that because Casemiro was doing everything else. Eriksen was able to get forward, string that play into Bruno, get the team working, keep the tempo of the play, whatever. He was good for the game. Now Eriksen looks like, at the same time, what you've seen, I think, this season from Man United's midfield, Casemiro's legs have been shot, his brain has been shot. I don't know what's happened with him, but he's a completely different player and a completely not the same person he was last season. Eriksen, you can say exactly the same thing. He looks like the game is passing him by a lot of the time. His athleticism is now even less than it was last season.
I mean, he's out of the team.
Because Casemiro hasn't been able to control anything, Eriksen has been ineffective as anything.
He's not in midfield.
I'm just saying. Now you bring Kobe in. An 18-year-old who's at the end of the day, if he's 18 and he's amazing, whatever, we think he's got great quality and great potential for the future. We still got to give him time, and he's not going to be amazing every single game, week in, week out. We have to give him time to not be that good. And also,
when he come on, that's exactly what I say. I've never said he's not a top talent.
Hold on. Let me just finish this point, all right?
I just said he's not ready now.
So in the midfield,
He's not ready now.
we brought him in. I think he's ready to play, but he needs some good, experienced people around him, and also needs the opportunity to have a rest from time to time. He hasn't had that since coming to the team. He's played every single game consecutively because he's our best option in there. So that's not fair on him. He needs help around him. So listen, that's the midfield, and then Bruno has been. I think overall he's been a decent season, but he's been hot and cold. He's been hot and cold. He's had some parts of the season this season that have been bad. Rashford, who last season scored us 30 goals, has been non-existent this season. Scored us, I think, 7. Right? Terrible. We've got a new striker in Højlund who has nobody to learn from. 100% is terrible.
I'm hearing injuries, but come on, there's like levels to it.
There's reasons why Man United is bad. It's not just like
Liverpool went through a mad injury crisis, and they were getting through with kids. If anything,
I
their
think
first team players let them down.
on top of that,
But they got through
you've
that
got some
period with
weird,
kids,
stinky mentality that's running through some of these players. Players like Luke Shaw, who we thought we could rely on. He's not been about all season. Like I said, what's his face? Rashford, he's been shit all season. Like it's been tough, bro. And we need a mass overhaul of this squad, right? A mass overhaul. I'm talking 5, 6, 7 of them need to be
but
gone.
a lot of the players,
And we need to
the
build
ones
from
that
scratch.
you bought since
Get some of them.
come in, that's a problem.
No, bro.
Because you listen, we know you need to get a
I'd still
Casemiro.
keep the majority of them.
No, you wouldn't.
I'd keep Anthony. I'd keep.
Malacia needs to go because what's he doing there? He's not good
Malacia's
enough to be waiting around.
to be honest, Malacia's just been injured. He's been injured all season.
He can't occupy a squad place. You got rid of Reguilon because you believed in Malacia.
Well, we didn't know that until this season. So now you can say, okay, let's get rid of him. But I don't think it's because the Ten Hag's made a horrible decision. I think Malacia is a decent backup left back. He's just been injured. And we paid like 12 million for him. So it's not even a big loss. Like if Malacia goes, cool.
You just gave Rashford a big contract while Ten Hag was
If someone's willing to pay the money, I'd sell him. Same with McTominay, I'd let him go. I think Harry Maguire's I'd let him go. I'd let Lindelof go.
Listen, Maguire, Lindelof, whatever. You can say because they were there pre-Ten Hag that their time that they don't count.
Casemiro.
I'm saying he's going to too many players.
Casemiro's got to go.
Martial's done.
Martial's gone.
He's gone anyway. He's been gone.
Yeah.
And I'd say after that, that's a good 6, 7 players there.
So Wan-Bissaka.
Wan-Bissaka might have to go as well. Might be the end of the road for him.
And Dallo's you'll probably.
Dallo 100%.
Dallo's going to stay because he's good, but Wan-Bissaka might have to stay because it's impossible to go with this many players in one go.
Yeah,
you
I do hear
have to keep
that.
the ones that are useful.
Wan-Bissaka, he's on the borderline, so he could potentially stay.
He's never been a superstar. He was never going to be a superstar. I don't know why you paid 50 million.
But also, if we're not in Europe next season, we're not going to have that many games. So we don't need to keep hold of that many players. I think we could build off a relatively small squad next season. Another reason why I want us to not be in Europe.
Wan-Bissaka, I don't know how long he's got on his contract. He's been there a while.
I think if somebody comes in with a good little 20, 30 million, I'd get rid of it. I'd let him go. To be honest, because you can replace him.
The thing is, teams don't have a lot of money as well. Teams right now don't have a lot of money.
Well,
because of PSR, so they gotta be. Even
we'll see.
teams like United have to worry about PSR.
So yeah, we'll see who we can get rid of. But I think
we know
it's gonna need to be a mass overhaul. Yeah, go on. What's the next?
We get rid of and by we the people, get rid of the manager. Listen, I tell you to keep him because I know why. He's good up, innit?
You know what, bro? I'll be honest, right? In terms of getting rid of Ten Hag, yeah. I've said this to a few people in my circle this week, but in terms of getting rid of Ten Hag, look, I'm looking to the camera and say this one. For the past 10 years as Man United fans, right? I'll go to the games often. I'm seeing ticket holder. I'm there all the time. I was there at the end of Ollie's reign. I was there at the end of Mourinho's reign. I was there at the end of Van Gaal's reign, right? Ranieri, I've seen it. I've seen it a lot. I'm very privy to Man United's downfall, right? We've been on a constant loop, right, for the past 10 years. What happens is the manager comes in, he does all right for a bit, and as soon as it starts to go downhill, everyone starts panicking, the manager needs to go. And then you start seeing the players reacting to that energy, right? And that energy, you start seeing the players not running. The players don't look tactically drilled. You start hearing, are these players even training? What are they doing in training? Why are they not doing why look at these gaps in midfield. These players aren't running for the manager. These players aren't doing this. And you see it every single time at the end of all of these managers' reigns. Now look, I'm not gonna be able to sit here and tell you Ten Hag, Mourinho, and Ollie, all of them, don't run tactical drills in training. Don't tell these players what to do and what positions to cover. I can't tell you that Ten Hag set out his team to do what this team turns out to do week in, week out. Or Ollie did, or Mourinho did. They all had the same. They all didn't know tactics. They all didn't know what they're doing. I'm a layman and I watch his team and I see these gaps in midfield. If I can figure it out, and I know Ten Hag knows more than me about football, there's got to be a reason why he can't figure this out. I saw his interview recently with Gary Neville, and I'm not gonna lie, he won some points from me because I like that. I like what he said, and it made sense.
He hasn't that made you think.
He hasn't got the players. He said, "I haven't got the players to play the type of football that I want to play." And yes, he's made maybe some signings that have been a little bit questionable, but a lot of managers in every single reign do that. Pep did it, Klopp did it. Ten Hag needs to be allowed the space to do it as well. Like, You need time to. He's still playing with so many players that aren't his at the moment, right? Look, whether he gets sacked or not, whatever. But I think personally, he's never been in that proper structure of Man United. When he was at Ajax, his best work was done underneath a proper structure. Maybe at Man United, when the structure properly forms in the summer, for the first time, he might, you know what I mean, have some help. Let's see what he does. Let's give him one more season in the structure. I'm willing to give it. Look, we're not going to do much in one season anyway. It's not like if we bring a new manager and we're going to win the league. We're still far behind. We might as well let this guy run this contract out, see what happens.
So do you want to keep going down a wrong road?
At the end of the day, I
That's
think
what you're risking. You're
the
hoping
wrong
that
road.
it's light at the end of this 10 hard tunnel.
You know what it is? The wrong road. It's not as simple as that because there's many wrong things we've been doing. The biggest wrong things that we've been doing are getting sorted. And I don't think the manager is one of the biggest wrong things. I think the biggest wrong things for Man United for the past 10 years have been what's been going on in the boardroom and at a structural level. And we're fixing those things. While those things are getting in order, give this manager a year. The worst that's gonna happen? If he's going too bad by January, you can sack him and figure it out then. But really, I don't think you're going to get too much out of sacking him. And who are the people that are bringing in? So yeah, let's get the Ghost United fan in.
So I think with Ten Hag, managing Manchester United is not like managing any football club. Look what he's had to deal with since joining the club. We got Ronaldo.
Yeah, but that you could argue whether Ronaldo is right to do it or not. He made Ronaldo feel a way that he thought that he had to get out of the club, and that was his way out. Which isn't. So you can look at that both ways. What I'm saying, you could be like Ronaldo, whatever, but he didn't manage Ronaldo well. And that's a lot of the situations. The players.
Ronaldo went out and did one of the most unprofessional things a footballer could possibly do.
Yeah, but why?
That is wrong, bro.
No,
And as much as I love Ronaldo,
it's wrong.
that's not Ten Hag's fault that he went out there on Piers Morgan and did that.
That he's alienating
No, it's
the greatest player.
Yeah, but you know what usually happens.
That's a
No,
problem.
but Mohammed, you know what usually happens when that happens?
Ronaldo
That
would
player
never
then pushes for a move and he gets sold. That's what happens, and then that player would have left in the next available transfer window, like every other player in football history. No other player has ever gone out and done a 4-part fucking
2 hours.
whatever. It doesn't matter, bro. A 2-hour documentary. Bro, that's what I'm saying. What
He hadn't even said it to the public yet, and he was told that he...
Did that thing get into it? Do you think if any other footballer did that, it would even get airtime? Do you think any other footballer could get listened to for 2 hours?
Yeah, but that doesn't make it right. I don't understand what you're saying.
What I'm saying to you is Ronaldo is a very special case. You knew that when you brought him into the club and you were to bring shirt sales, you knew you had to stop him from seeing.
Yeah, but
Ronaldo's a special
that's
case.
maybe the opposite of what we
Can't
thought. We
forget.
thought Ronaldo, he's a special case, but at the very least, what we can expect from him, he's the most professional guy.
He was a
we could do.
professional guy.
That was an unprofessional move.
No, it wasn't.
It was. 100% it was.
Because what's his profession? Why is he signed for United?
He's a footballer.
No, wait. His
He's a
problem,
football player.
where you address him, and did for United, did he still do the same Ronaldo shit that he does every time? Even when he come back late for pre-season, fit as any player ever, still trying to train hard.
I don't agree.
He wasn't Sancho.
If you look at Ronaldo in the
not
beginning
training
part of that
properly.
season, he was not very good at all.
I'm not saying he
And he
wasn't
looked
good.
unfit. He looked
No,
behind.
He didn't look unfit.
Bro, he
He
did.
didn't look match fit.
He
That's
didn't
the
score
thing.
goals for ages. That game against Ammonia or whatever in the Europa
he
League, it was
wasn't on
embarrassing, bro.
form.
I felt bad for him.
He wasn't on form, but he was definitely still trying to be fit. He was doing all the things that he normally does.
Listen.
He wasn't cutting corners.
No, but when Ten Hag said,
even if that were the case, and we say we keep Ronaldo. Look at the.
No, Ronaldo, I'm saying.
Forget Ronaldo.
Sancho
Let's get to the
would
next point. We've got Sancho. We got selling the club. Look what.
No, selling the
look
club,
what
say.
mess we've had over the last year.
Selling the club.
Lack
say,
of clarity.
The
Lack of
Sancho
vision.
one is
lack
a bit
of
of the
anything.
Ronaldo thing, and also, you know what I mean, the weird Garnacho and Ahmad stuff, where they've also gone on social media and been like.
Those are minor offences. We can.
No, but I'm not on about. I'm saying, is there a problem that this guy seems to have a weird relationship with a lot of your players? And yeah, the big ego ones, whether that be Ronaldo or Sancho, have gone far away and done something.
I think with the same
that's
token-
unprofessional. But he isn't good at managing. Like it don't strike me that he's got a group of players that were willing to even Ollie.
You know what,
I know
this-
they got him sacked, they down tools, but I feel like they respected him.
they
more.
loved him, but look what they
Then
did to
they
him.
respect
But look what
Ten
they
Hag.
did to him. Like Roy Keane said, these players are going to get him sacked, and they did.
Yeah, but that's
Bro,
what does it
like,
feel
no,
like?
but my
What
point is,
what
hold on. My point is, that's a common theme you're seeing now. That players in here, they get upset. I want to tell you, like, I want to tell you something for it. So what? So what? Ten Hag's brought in to be their manager. Hold on, I'll explain. Hold
He's not
on.
meant to be their best
Ten
friend.
Hag's brought in to be their manager. He's not their dad, bro. He's coming in to give him tactics and tell him how to play football. He doesn't need to come in and give him hugs and. But these lot have got sports psychologists. They've got therapists. They've got all of this stuff on tap at the ground. They need somebody to come and give them a hug and kiss them. They can do that. But Ten Hag isn't there to do that, bro. Ten Hag. Okay, bro.
Look at Carlo Ancelotti, bro. What's his strongest skill?
Okay, and why was he able to manage? Why was he able to look? The players at Ajax loved Ten Hag. Frankie de Jong loved Ten Hag. Matthijs didn't love Ten Hag. Players liked him.
No, listen, Ajax, he did a great
Lisandro
job.
Martinez. Also, I don't. Listen, let me know. You asked me a question. You asked me a question. Let me answer. Because I don't believe this narrative that he suddenly doesn't have any sort of character. You see him. You see him when he won the Carabao Cup. He was dancing on the pitch with the players, and he's joking about. You hear him sometimes.
You're addressing a
I listen. Hold on. I listen to his press conferences all the time, and I always hear him cracking jokes and you know what I mean, saying some funny things here and there. The guy does have personality. He's just.
I'm not saying that.
I just don't think he's.
I said
We're going off topic. We're on track.
Well, thank you. I'm glad you're here. What I said was there seems to be constantly issues with United players publicly disrespecting them. As recent as the minor offences you talked about, and you got to think, who are these minor offences coming from? Players who can't get in, who should be like, you know, when you bring a young player through, they should want to die for you. The Garnachos and the Amans, and even they don't think it's that deep to go online and let man know, even if it's just through liking tweets or putting weird the thing emoji. This guy.
That stuff's always happened though.
No, it don't, bro.
And also,
how many
players? There's a platform for that to happen.
No, but how many players in the last year have blatantly just come out against their manager on some shit? Even if it's not too deep, and I don't think it's that deep with their manager, especially because they're young.
I was gonna say for a young 19-year-old to
but
act out
it
emotional
happens too
response.
much
Like a tweet after another bad game or whatever.
And instantly, and accept punishment
but
for it and
if it
move
was
on.
just that, I wouldn't have a problem. But the problem is that it's 2 years now and the stuff is still happening.
Okay, but let me tell you.
Like, what is he improved on?
Okay, but you can't put that just on the manager. Look at the
Nah, it's his job to manage the players, bro.
And the days of running, look at the way the leaks from the dressing room, from the higher ups.
Even the leaks, I'm not blaming you for that. That's what I'm
all of
talking
these
about.
things.
I'm saying the
there's
public.
a toxic atmosphere at Manchester United, and this is a big problem.
All right, but in 2 years, the 2 years he's been there, it sounds like to me the same problems you had when he got the job, you still have.
Because the majority of the players that are
No,
playing
but I'm
for
saying,
him,
what has he done?
the players,
What has he done more to reduce your problems? This one, I need to keep this one. What has he done in these last 2 years to alleviate? Obviously, I know I can accept the point that he's got a lot of shit that he shouldn't have to deal with. So United can't be what they should be.
he took a stinking team that finished 7th, was it, or whatever
Yeah,
it was, under Randy,
but 2 years.
and brought them to 3rd place and won a Carabao Cup in his first season. That's what he did.
But we're 2 years in now and you're
Okay,
back
this
at
is the
8th
second
place.
year, and we've had.
Like look at Ollie's season before. So I'm saying to you, you're in the same. Like if you look at both of the 2 seasons before, you might as well kept Ollie. You might have bounced back, had a good run in the season after, and then you didn't get it to be yo-yoing around to be doing the same things that you did under Ollie.
The aim is to always
Well, we
build
also
on it,
didn't
but you
sack
can't.
Ten Hag. We didn't bring Ten Hag in to sack him after a year of it going bad. That's another thing.
No, I'm saying over
Like,
the totality of 2 years.
I
we're
think
back at square
personally,
one.
give
I
him-
feel like
give him another
all
season.
these complaints
What's
existed 2 years
the
ago.
point of signing him on a 3-year deal?
Also-
You're not going to give him
Listen,
some time.
back to my initial point. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Ten Hag is in charge of everything.
People say if he's
There was
not the
no
problem.
board, no footballing minds above him.
But if
No,
he's-
no
listen.
structure, and then with the sale of the club being longed out for almost a year, was it?
Yeah, bro.
But listen,
About
that,
a year.
no, you know what? Listen, you know what I
No,
said
no,
that
but
is-
I'm just saying, there's a lot of.
No, but
It's
he
a lack of
locked in.
direction,
No,
lack of
he's locked in. Let me tell you why. Because when he bought the club, he was coming to work under the Glazers. It just so happened that in November, after he signed, they decided, you know what? More shit needs to be done. We need to seek outside investment. So he's actually gotten lucky in terms of now United are at a place where they're supposed to be, and we don't know anything because we haven't seen it in practice yet. But United now should make better decisions. They should have better standards. They should have a better way of like coming to stuff, innit? But we don't know if that's actually going to exist or whatever. But he lucked into that because he was coming to work under the Glazers and under that, whatever that thing is you want to call it. He was coming to work under, innit? So he can't really blame that on why he has succeeded. Because if that's the case, he shouldn't have took the job. Because when he come from Ajax, he knew who he was coming to work for. He knew he was coming to work with John Moore and them lot. And so like I said, he's getting lucky that, in fact, he's getting a better, or you'd hope a better situation now. But he wasn't coming to work under that. So he was coming to work under, like I said, them bad
but the fact that he
conditions.
my point is,
But I don't think he actually was in 2
in
years
that
in.
situation,
Having
whoever would have
overall
came to
having
work.
progress. You have to think he won
Listen,
anyway.
in that
It's the same
situation, whoever would have come to work for us was destined to fail. So my point is, that
saying
situation,
in 2 years we
that's the
should
situation he was working at, and I don't think at United I think he needs to be given the opportunity to actually work under the structure that most managers in the Premier League have the opportunity to work under at the end of the day, bro. You know what I mean?
Structure's changed. But what I'm going to say to you is, if you saw him do these 2 years at Chelsea, let's say, finish third and win a Carabao Cup, and then they were back at 8th, would you want him to come into your club?
Well, Bayern up until last week, one of them.
Bayern, first of all, we don't know how strong that is. They've got blammed by
It was
about
being
6.
It was actually being put by like proper Bayern reporters. I was actually looking at it. I couldn't believe it myself, to be honest. But
Anyway,
It was by that CFO, Christian
I tell
Falk
you
guy
why,
that works for Bayern.
but Bayern, in this list, I've also looked at Ralph Rangnick.
we don't work for Bayern.
Yeah.
He's like bare like Bayern.
They've looked at Ralph Rangnick. They've been blamed by all of their top targets, Xabi Alonso, Nagelsmann, even Ralph
My
Rangnick.
point is, the
pointed
fact
out.
he's on the list shows that he's not a complete idiot. Like
but it's
somebody
not about
wants,
him. Listen,
somebody
they're not
in
saying-
a big club like Bayern Munich thinks, you know what, he might be the guy. Like they clearly look at the situation of Man United
I
and they
think
look.
United fans need to be patient. It was
Yeah.
never going to be a
Alright,
one-year
if I'm a
job
United
or a
fan,
2-year
if
job.
I'm a United fan, what are you giving me excuses for why I haven't seen progress? But what can you show me to be like, it's
Look at
worth
last season.
sticking?
Look at last season.
Yeah, but we've seen them seasons before, bro. Them seasons can be new manager bound.
And we've seen these
Because I
seasons
think even
before.
in the second half of the season, you man was starting to fall off. It was a few more weeks. Liverpool might have caught you lot off. After the Carabao Cup, your season started to take a dip.
But they didn't. Mohammed. That's-
No, they
that's-
did.
it's a
No,
weak narrative.
I know. It's 100% fact that your season.
No, we ended
the
up
second
winning.
half of the season.
No,
was
they ended up
worse than
losing
the
their
start.
last couple games
Okay,
or whatever.
but
They
you
didn't even get close.
When you lot finished
Your
the
second
Carabao
half of the
win.
season this year has been better than your first half of the season.
Yeah, that's
You haven't
good.
lost a single game.
That's
have you?
important. Yeah, that's
I
good.
get what you're saying, but I'm saying.
But I'm just saying,
It's
to
a-
you,
it's
if you
a whole
look-
season that you look
No,
at.
but I'm saying,
So-
when you won the Carabao Cup, you were going for all four. That was the job. Whether you were serious or not, that's what Mans was saying.
Yeah, and then went out and got Weghorst in January.
Yeah, why did you do that? Because your
Because
manager
we're
alienated
bad-
the greatest player.
Stop
that
our
ever-
manager did nothing.
He
It's
did
because club is
alienate,
bad,
but
he runs.
Ronaldo come out and said the
Hold
guy
on.
disrespected
Hold on,
me.
hold on,
He
calm
showed
down,
me
calm
no
down.
respect.
Ronaldo, whether or not
He's not lying
a
about
club
it.
like United should be able to get rid of Ronaldo and then come January get someone that's not Weghorst. The reason we weren't able
chose
to
Weghorst?
hold on. The
That's
reason
his
we weren't able to
So they offered him
hold
any
on,
striker.
please let me just finish.
any
The
striker,
reason we were only could get Weghorst is because we had no money because our club's finances have been mismanaged for years before Ten Hag even got there.
He's part of it. He's not spent money well. You can't say he has.
Listen, he should be allowed to spend money and make some mistakes and still be able to spend some more money.
he's
Pep
probably
did it.
spent-
Why can't he?
Because first of all, Pep.
My point is, managers come in, they do that. Klopp did it as well.
No, Klopp didn't spend.
Yes,
Klopp
he spent
got his-
some-
Klopp got his big signings right. Right now, your two biggest signings are terrible under Ten Hag. Casemiro and Anthony. Klopp's big signings, Van Dijk and Alisson, once he really pushed the boat out. It's the same, if Rice had come and shit the bed at Arsenal, man would have looked at Arteta, even Havertz. Everyone was gunning at Arteta for Havertz. He's like, you spent 60 mil on him. That's one of your big
Managers
signings.
get judged by the big signings.
So
they
yeah,
make.
now we see that, be like, you are the... You
Anthony
can't
has
just
been
put
bad.
the blame on other people.
Anthony's been bad, but cool.
So massive.
Like, do you know what I mean?
To build on your point before, say he asked for Anthony. He asked for Anthony when? Right at the beginning of the summer. We could have got Anthony for 55 million at the beginning of the summer. But the club, the structure of
Yeah, but I'm saying, forget the money. He shouldn't have asked
But
for
there's a
it.
reason why he's such a big signing. Because he said, I want this player, and then the people in charge went and got him for 100 million euros.
Yeah, but I'm trying to say to you is, even
So
if
that
he was
Ten Hag
free,
didn't say,
if
no,
he come
buy
on a
him
free
for 100
transfer,
million.
Anthony would
That's
have been a
what.
bad signing.
Anthony came
If
in.
he came for free, he would have been a bad signing.
Maybe.
Wait,
Well,
no,
you never
I'm
know.
saying if he
Yeah,
coming
right.
for free, with the return he's giving you for the amount of appearances he's had, it's not good.
Mohammed, I'm accepting he's a bad signing. That's not my. I'm not arguing he's a good signing. I'm saying
Ten Hag has been a part of the
he's a bad
financial
signing and
mismanagement.
he's made a bad signing. But he should. That doesn't condemn him to now not be able to sign any players in the future.
No, but no, imagine everything.
That's
has
not my-
a
that-
cause
that's
and
my
effect.
point.
If I spend in my first summer 250 million, and I bring people in on 4 or 5 year contracts, that's you have to know. And listen, it's not his job to manage finances. I hear that, but he's a football manager. He understands how the game works. he knows if he has
Mohammed,
a big
up until very
investment
recently-
and he's not successful, it's going to have
Up
an
until
impact
very
on
recently,
future funds.
up until very recently, Man United could spend 250 million in the summer and still spend another 100 million in January because we had that. Right now we
No,
can't.
but everybody
because
told
we've
you
been-
that wasn't sustainable. And you
It
kept
wasn't-
doing it and you never got any
It wasn't
success.
sustainable, and because we weren't getting any success. The problem is we weren't getting any success because the way we were doing it was wrong. My point is Ten Hag, he never even got that luxury
No, he
to
got
be
a
a
luxury of 250 million when he walked through the door.
No, but that's
a luxury,
bro, Mohammed. That's
Most
at
managers
United.
would love
You
to
need
have
that as a bare minimum to
No,
come
you
in and
don't
start
need
your
that.
projects.
If
Of
you're
course you
winning the
do.
league, You need that. But for what he returned, I don't think you can't tell me when he returned a third and an eighth place is good enough for the money he invested.
If you look at the 250 mil spent, who did he actually buy?
He bought Anthony, Casemiro, Alessandro Martinez for most of it.
Okay.
Yeah. Then since then he bought Mason Mount, Hoyland.
So that's
the
the-
players you bought have
that's not
for
that
big
many
money.
players, bro.
All of them players
And
are
we
50
need
mil
more.
plus.
We need more.
And only Martinez, and I don't think Martinez is good, but he's the only one that you can say right now he's shown that you know what, it might have been worth it.
You don't think Martinez is good?
That's my opinion. But I can say I can listen. Forget my opinion. You can argue he's worth the money you paid for him, yeah? I don't think you can make the argument with any of the other players you bought now. Hoyland,
I think
because
Hoyland-
he's got time, he could end up being worth it.
If he ends up playing
But
for
right
Man
now,
United for the
he's
next
not
5-6
looking great.
years, then
A
whatever.
season in though, he's not looking like even him. He's a player.
He's looking like a talent. That's
No,
what he's looking
right,
like.
I just say, right
Because,
now,
bro, Hoyland's it's not
the
fair on
second half
Hoyland.
of the
I've said this to
season
you
has
before.
looked worse than the first half. But you brought him into these conditions. So the problem
But
is,
that's not his fault, bro. It's not
No,
his
but it's
fault.
your- We're judging. Even then, Ten Hag should have said, "Don't bring him in."
Ten
Because
Hag said.
I can't deal with a striker
Did you not
who's
hear what he
not
said?
fit.
Ten Hag didn't want Hoyland first choice. He wanted Hoyland and he wanted Harry Kane.
Yeah, but you're not getting.
said-
They obviously made that clear. You're not getting both. So
He
should
said
have been like,
no, but at the beginning he said I wanted Harry Kane, and United could have gone for Harry Kane. We just didn't, and we got buoyed off, and we didn't even try and go for him too tough
We
because
didn't
we
have the
thought
money back.
we're not gonna go. No, we
You don't
could
have
have.
100 mil and 400 grand a week to pay him by the signings you made this summer. None of your players, like you pay Mount a hell of a lot, which is mad. Mount is on big money. So I suppose if you didn't sign Mount and went all in for Kane, fair enough, innit?
Yeah, I think if we didn't
But I
sign.
don't think you lot aren't in a position where Kane takes you to winning the league because the rest of your team isn't good enough.
No, but he'll score us at least 25 goals a season,
Yeah, but
and
outlay-
that boosts us from 8th to maybe 4th.
Yeah, but that outlay of 100. First of all, I don't think he would come to you for fourth. He's at the stage of his career. He's even Tottenham to try and win something. It didn't work
He'd
out.
still
with
win some
Bayern.
trophies though. At United, he might win it. He might could like if we had Kane coming into the FA Cup final, I think we'd have a much better chance than
No,
if we
but listen,
didn't. You know what I
you're
mean?
in the FA Cup final, but if you're Kane, if you're saying you're Tottenham there,
United,
you're
even
going
when
to
we're bad, we
United,
still got
same risk.
opportunities to win trophies.
You're gonna
And he
go
would have
for
known
a
that
cup.
going to United. He would have known that eventually this club might
He'll
win
go
something.
to Bayern Munich because he wants to win trophies. That's why he's leaving. He's going to maximise his possibilities.
But-
and nobody's going to sit here and tell me that. Even though they didn't win it for this year, we will all expect Bayern to win trophies more than United. over the next year.
I've heard as well that Kane wanted United. Like, there's been some very reputable journalists that have reported that I was listening to one. I forgot his name, man. But he was saying that Kane wanted United and United wanted Kane, and it was just like match that never happened because they didn't think Daniel Levy was going to sell to them, but they didn't even try. Like if they would have put in maybe 100 million, 110 million, it might have swayed him a little bit. But they didn't even put that in. So I don't know, man. Kane was the one that got away from me, man. I think if Fergie was around, man, we definitely would have signed that guy, bro. And I think, but either way, listen.
But I would say to you is, no, my point is, if you don't go to Kane, why do you go to a 20-year-old who might be talented, yes, but has 9 goals, and you're expecting him to carry like that's bad management. He should have been like saying to him, no, I need an actual striker.
But the
Martial
problem,
can't play
so
football.
there you go, Mohammed.
I can't brood
You know
Man
what?
U.
That's a good point. And this is why I'm telling you, he needs time under the structure because he needs somebody to come and tell him, you know what, bro, this ain't your job to identify all these players and try to think about what. Let me figure out who we're gonna sign, what we're gonna do. You sit tight, and I'm gonna come and run some names by you. Tell me who you want out of these names. We can try to figure out what one. Blah blah blah. Just like Klopp had when he wanted to sign Julian Brandt, and they came through, and then they said, you know what? No Julian Brandt, you're going to get Mohamed Salah instead. And then what happened? Mohamed Salah goes on to be club legend, wins in the Premier League, Champions League, all of that. That wouldn't have happened if he didn't have Michael Edwards sat right next to Klopp telling him, this is how we're going to do this, and this is who you're going to get to do it. We have never had that, Manchester United,
Julian
bro.
Brandt and Salah, let's compare them at the time. They're both around 23, 24 years old. You're both around 23, 24 years old. Julian Brandt and Salah. They're of a similar profile. The players that you think aren't quite world class yet, but could reach that world class stage.
Yeah.
They're similar profiles, and maybe that board will write about which player they went for in the end. What I'm saying to you is, you don't go from Harry Kane, who's meant to be a proven, consistent player, to a complete risk, and that's like.
Well,
it don't make sense, bro.
you're
I'm
repeating my
looking for
point.
an experienced
What we're
striker.
doing is
Then I want an experienced striker.
we're
I
doing
don't
stuff
know.
without a proper idea or clear plan,
Well,
which is
they-
you're going back to
they-
the square one of what we
We just said at the beginning.
But no, but Ten Hag's been given a lot of power, and it shows that he doesn't know what he's doing.
But that
This
is,
isn't coherent strategy.
he shouldn't do that. My point is that power that he was given was wrong. You don't give you don't give a manager that much power.
You're
At
saying
no
you
other
don't
club
give
does
up
any
as
manager
a-
have that power to do whatever the hell they want.
He doesn't have, listen, every manager would dream of a situation where they get to pick their players. And you're telling me he hasn't been able to succeed in a position that a manager would
Yes,
want.
he needs
That's
a.
the reason why, though.
That's the reason why
That's
the
why
most
they're-
successful clubs don't let their managers have this final say and be in end all of what they want to do. They don't do that.
But you were successful and you're letting your manager do it. It's just the manager has to be.
It wasn't
competent
just the
enough
manager, though. It was
to do
also
it.
the manager and David Gill, and they would sit there and
Yeah,
would talk.
David Gill would do the deals or whatever.
But he would
it was
also
Fergie picking
no,
the
he would
players.
also say, you know what, these are the players that are about. These are the players. You know what, I think you should sign. I think we can get this guy. I've heard that this club might be wanting to get rid of
But
him.
you're trying
And
to
then
tell
Fergie
me
said, you know what, let's do that.
Fergie wasn't picking the players. Fergie drove to pick up.
Do you know how we signed Cantona? Do you know how we signed Cantona?
What? How?
The United chairman was on the phone to the Leeds chairman, and they were inquiring about a different player that Fergie wanted. I forgot the name. Then he goes, we might basically. It was literally a matter of, could we get? Yeah, well, Cantona might be available, and he was like, well, if you can get Cantona, get him for me, and then he got him. It was just, it was one of them like
So wait a minute. Who's making the decision then?
the chairman.
David Gill is letting him know
It was
what
a
he
conversation
wants.
that they were having between two
David
chairmen,
Gill is
and
doing
a player just happened to become available,
Yeah, what
and he
did
was
do?
like, we can sign him,
He didn't
and
sign
then.
him. He went back to his manager and said, "This player doing my job. I'm letting you know what the market is doing."
Yeah,
That's
but
their
my
job.
point is,
Find out what the market
my point
is.
is, Fergie didn't say, go out and get me Cantona first. That's what Ten Hag did. He said, go out and get me Anthony. No one was there to tell him, no, this player might be available. I had a chat with this guy, and I think these players might be available for a better price, and he's better. Why don't you get this player?
That worries me. That this manager-
Fergie had that even from from his chairman, from David Gill throughout his career. Bro, this guy never had that.
But this is what worries me. That he's
Some of the players
giving-
Fergie signed were bad. So Fergie also made some bad decisions when he handpicked players, and they were bad
He also
decisions.
made good decisions.
But
More time he made
But
good
those good decisions were also guided by people like David Gill and the structures around him. Bro, Mohammed, like I said, every successful club right now, there's a reason why they have a
Can
footballing
you tell me the
structure.
good decisions he's made Ten Hag? Because we're not seeing a style of play.
I think he's,
Prssure last season, he was one of our best players last season.
and I think
Nobody
You can't
expected him
size
to
him
fall
for
off
5
the
years.
good decisions. Okay, let's say last season, the way we played, what we ended up doing, that was ended up overall a good decision, right? I think the way he's brought in a lot of the youth players has been very good. Kobe Mainu, Garnacho, Willie Camboala, Forson. You've seen all these players get good minutes. Forson might not be that great, but at least he's getting minutes. He's getting,
United players.
yeah.
You'd expect Garnacho to be a
Yeah,
United
I think Hoyland as well will also go on in the future to be a United player, a good United player. I think Diogo Dalot has been proved under his reign, even though whether that's up to him or whatnot, it has happened under his watch. Diogo Dalot hasn't. Yeah, but he's gotten better. He's gotten a lot better under Ten Hag, I'll be honest. In the past 2-3 years, he's gotten a lot better. But he was, like I said, he was already improving, but he's just carried on. So at least there, and I think that's probably the most positive thing about United right now. If I could sit there and say what's the most positive thing, I'd say, you know what, it's the youth, that core of youth players that we didn't really know at the beginning of last season, that we suddenly want to build our whole future on. Ten Hag brought them youth players through. Ahmad's getting a little bit of a chance under him. We'll see how that goes. I think there's stuff to look forward to in terms of like the youth coming through in the team that Ten Hag has had a big hand in playing. And yeah, I think that's one of the biggest positives. And yeah, that's a big thing for United managers as well. It's a very important trait to have.
Do you have 2 games then?
One. No, yeah, 2. Yeah, we got Newcastle at home. It's our last home game, and then we got Brighton away.
Okay, so as it stands, you're 3 points behind Chelsea, I think.
Yeah.
I think you both have 2 games there. You're in 8th place. What does Ten Hag have to do next year? Because I don't... Listen, United as a club can expect a couple of bad seasons out of the Champions League. But you can't give the manager... He'll get sacked for that.
I think next season it needs to be a mass overhaul of the squad, and then you need to you need to get in the transfer
That's
window.
not in your control. If you don't have, I can understand you could want to get rid of players and you could want to bring players in, but you have to. It depends on being able to find buyers and being able to do deals. Is difficult. Like you said, Maguire, McTominay, you weren't able to get.
I think there'll be a market for most. I think there'll be a market for these players. I'll be honest. I don't think it's going to be impossible to shift them. I think Maguire has proven himself to be at least a good Premier League level centre back. I think other teams will be. Team might be in for him. I think McTominay is a useful player if you can play him. You know, what I mean, he's not maybe good enough to play for Man United week in, week out, but he's definitely good enough to play for a lot of Premier League teams.
Eriksen got a contract.
Eriksen, I think his contract ends at the end of the season. I think anyway.
If you gave him more than a 2-year deal, that's insanity.
Or even if we gave him a free, I think he'll probably leave anyway. Like he'll go somewhere. Like you know, we probably won't even get any money for him, but no, we don't care.
Eriksen was done when you signed him. His heart stopped.
Just. Yeah, and yeah, I don't know, man. I think Martial's obviously gone. There's a lot of players that are going to be gone at Man United next season. Like I said, I think McTominay's got.
What does he have to do next season?
McTominay,
He's not winning the league, we know that. What's the goal for Ten Hag next season? For this pain to be worth it?
Start building, getting some positive runs in, some good away wins, getting up the table. I want to see us back in. I want to see us at least I think we can challenge for the Champions League. I don't think we're that bad of a team.
Is he out by Christmas?
Yeah, if he's still doing horribly by Christmas, like it's not even close. You know what? Nah, just wait. You might as well. There's no point if you sack him at Christmas. The season's over at Christmas. You might as well just give him to the end of the season anyway. What's the worst that can happen?
Because if he has another bad start, it's not about it. It's about moving forward. What's the point? If he were to have another bad,
maybe if there's another manager, potentially if there's like another manager we can get in available that might save our season or something, yeah, cool. But yeah, if he's like having a stink, if he's like 10th by the,
I'm saying if you're not
it depends how bad, innit? It depends how
bad. If you're not, let's say, 3 points off top 4, which I think is fair. Yeah.
I think by Christmas you can
expect Arsenal and City to.
I think by Christmas you can allow yourself to be even 6 points off the top 4 and make it.
Yeah, but
so I'll let him be 6 points off the top 4.
I'll be honest, he doesn't look like you lot. In the second half of both seasons, you lot have not. Your performance is declined.
Again, we'll see what happens in the third season, but I'm saying like I'm willing to give him 6 points.
Listen, if you get popped badly, if you don't win another game this season, that's why I don't understand this point of you saying I don't want to know. If you don't win another game this season, it adds pressure, bro. Jim Ratcliffe don't want to be coming from Nice every week to watch you lot get popped. Like. That Dave Brailsford bet, I don't know if he's still a good performance as he come. Maybe the Liverpool game, but he's coming every week, sat there with his bald head, bro, and you lot are just even the games where you win, you're not good to watch. So he needs something. He can't just go. He can't like sleep up to the end of the season because his boss are watching.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I just think with everything Ten Hag has had to face this year, with everything I mentioned before, with the sale of the club, with the Greenwood, Sancho, all of these different individual things. 65 individual cases of injuries throughout the season is insane. And he's had to deal with that. And he's still in a cup final. He's shown areas of positivity. He's had some very decent results. Knocked out Liverpool when we thought all hope was there. I feel like the players haven't turned their back on him.
Haven't lost to Liverpool this season, by the way.
Haven't lost to Liverpool.
Derailed their Premier League winning title. It's just good for Man United fans, isn't it?
It's lovely. We take that.
You can't. I'm saying to you, it's not a sign of progress that you have.
That's not a sign of progress.
You're Liverpool's bogey team, which is good for you as a United fan. I hear it, but.
If we're having our worst season ever, Mohammed, if we're having our worst season ever, Mohammed,
amongst all the other things that I mentioned, it also forget about the win. It also shows
he really is farewell. Well done.
But it shows the fans that the players still have some belief in the manager. Maybe not all of them, but the majority. To put on a performance like that and knock Liverpool out of the cup when they're in their final last dance season, as they keep rambling on about. Like it is a positive step.
One league title.
Yeah, that's terrible. But yeah, man, look. Honestly, I think
he left the league club finishing underneath.
With Man United next season, yeah, I always want us to. I think every season we should start. We should look. You know what? As I said, we're Man United fans, innit? So we're always gonna look at wanting to win trophies, wanting to be. Even if we're not gonna do anything in the league, let's try to get another cup under our belt. Do you know what I mean? Let's try to get in the Champions League. Like it's always gonna be. What we want to do as United, isn't it? So if he can't do that next season, yeah, get rid. But that's like if at least then you've got a structure there.
I asked you to give me some like boundaries. Does he need a top 4 finish? Let's say
I think he'd.
Let's say there's a rule where we can't sack him.
I think okay, counter sack in mid-season, he's a top 4 finish by that
He's not in
mid-season. I
Champions
think
League,
it.
God.
I can agree
Think
with
a
that.
club like Man United needs to be in the top 4, bro.
And we said right when we first got time, give him time. Everybody knew that it was going to be a long journey. That's why right now, if you look at the fan base, it's very
give him
split right
time
now.
to go.
Because there's a lot of people that have been very impatient.
I hear
And I
that.
thought, oh, we just need the
give
new
him
shiny
time.
toy. We need the new manager, and we need to restart completely.
Listen,
But if we give him at least, I think he deserves one more year, purely just based on the season last year. He showed us something different. He won us a trophy. We hadn't won a trophy in how many years? Was it
6
years?
6, yeah.
I don't think nobody's
it's
expecting him
positive.
to win the league after 2 seasons.
Yeah.
But it would have been fair to be like, if we're progressing to finish 3rd and to 2nd season to be in and around 4th place.
Next season, if he finishes in the Champions
fell
League
off a
spots,
cliff. That's
listen.
the mad thing.
Next season, if he finishes in the next season, if he finishes in the Champions League spots, you can sit there again, look back on it with out of 3 seasons, you can say no. 2 seasons, he's finished 3rd and let's say 4th for argument's sake. He's finished 3rd and 4th. He's won 1 trophy. He might, let's say, I don't know. In this scenario, does he win or does he lose the FA Cup?
Listen, I just want to go for the league because that's what.
So anyway,
count.
no, because if he wins the FA Cup and he wins the League Cup in those 3 years, I think that's very good.
2 trophies. No, listen.
Like even if he doesn't win a trophy in his final season, but he finishes 4th. If you look back on the last 3 years, and you can say, okay, he's finished 3rd, he's finished 8th, and he's finished 4th, and he's got to three cup finals. Finished.
They didn't keep Mourinho in the job, so I don't think they're gonna. If your performance in the league is consistently poor, because the league is really where you measure how good of a team you are, right? So if your performance in the league is consistently poor, good cup runs, I don't think will keep him in the job. If you have another
It's not about that's what I mean.
you win another league
If we get top 4 next season and we're starting to show a good start, like a good progression in the way we're playing, it matters as well if we get good progression. Obviously, the way that we're playing, we need to see something now
if
in
he gets
terms
top
of
4 next season, I think he keeps his job. If he manages to be in the job next season.
If
I
he
think he should be in the job next season.
Listen, I know you know what? If these men, Gareth Southgate scared you, man, this much, bro. It's not going to be Gareth Southgate.
But that's the thing as well. Who we're getting linked with.
We're trolling you, bro. It's not gonna,
You know what?
There are a lot of good football managers in the world that would bite arms off to be able to manage a team like Man United.
You know what? If we like,
There's a reason why Ten Hag's there.
If we do get rid of
one
him-
manager, you weren't in a great place. He took the job. Why? Because you're Man United.
you know what? Let's
Much
just
as I
take
hate you,
let's take
that
this
is true,
let's
man.
take this conversation on a little bit of a turn. So, if we were to get rid of Ten Hag,
Nameless United fan, who would you have?
Right now, who would I take?
out the managers available.
You Man United, you could get. Like, obviously, you're not going to get an Ancelotti. You're not going to get Pep. You're not going. But you could get managers any up. You know what I mean? Within reason, you could take managers. You could get a De Zerbi. You don't have to. So I'm saying you ain't got to look for somebody like realistic, but don't. It doesn't have to be like someone without a job or whatever.
I think I quite like the look of that sporting manager.
Amorim.
He's a bit of a sketch, isn't it? Can't be meeting, flying out in private jets, chatting to Liverpool, chatting to this. Nobody wants you, then you're. I'm listening. You know what? I think he's a sick manager. But when clubs are hiring people, they do look at it.
Yeah.
You don't want the guy you're investing in to know he's a bit of a like.
Maybe. But if we're talking
But he's
purely
good,
of
man.
footballing areas, I say I like the look of him. De Zerbi, I think again it's a similar situation with Ten Hag. I don't see it as it would be much of an improvement. I like how he's done with Brighton. I like what he's been doing. They've had a bit of a tough season as well. But based off who's available, it would probably be De Zerbi or the sporting boss. Other than that, I'm not really too sure who. Like right now, I don't even know how I feel about the
first
football
name.
game. That what's his name? Sloth.
Arne Slot.
Yeah.
Basically, they did the same thing you praised them for. Is they got Michael Odegaard, the same guy who got Salah. They trusted him. They looked at the way they play football, and they went and found a manager who plays like them.
Yeah.
So they're doing what you lot think are advocating for United.
Yeah.
That whole holistic rounded approach. So we'll see, and it's going to be his first season.
I'll take Hansi Flick.
Well, not too sure.
He's fallen out with every single club he's been with. I feel. Right?
Yeah, I feel like Tuchel's personality it would just won't mix with United right now. That's not what we need. He gets quite vexed and quite like inflammatory.
Yeah,
and
but
like,
he wants to win.
yeah, but right now Man United we might not be built for that.
The team.
Do you know what I
I don't
mean?
think we have the team right now that would able to work with that kind of management.
I think Hansi Flick has
We've already
won a
your
treble.
team needs to get fucked in terms of the players. You need new players, you need new mentality. So you shouldn't you should be worried about.
But I don't think Tuchel
What
personally.
they're gonna
I don't
instill.
think he's a long-term manager. Every club he's been at so far has kind of shown us that. It might be the clubs that he's been at their fault. Again, another reason. I don't think he's a long-term manager. I don't think he's going to be there. He eventually will fall out with
So
someone.
that kind of character with the spotlight from Manchester
Yeah, but what would that character?
And the style of play, and I don't. I'm not with it.
By the end of pre-season, that training shit, that'd be sorted out.
Yeah, but I'm not with.
You know, I'm just saying, and I don't think, and you know what else? He gets his number 9 scoring goals. He's done it wherever he.
Listen, I think Conte's a great manager. I'm not cussing him. I just don't think he's right for Man United, bro. I think
So what's this
the way he
whole
plays
manager?
football.
His perfect manager doesn't exist. We're either gonna get someone inexperienced.
If we can try and get,
we were gonna get somebody.
like I said, we can't. It doesn't sound like Nagelsmann is available, but I would have really liked getting someone like him to build. He's young. You can build a project off him.
What about Zidane?
But he doesn't.
Again, I don't think Zidane's gonna be there long term,
But
so
none
there's
of
no
these
point.
managers, even Nagelsmann, he hasn't shown that he'd be in there a long time. You just assume he would be because he's young.
Yeah.
There's no suggestion. And Zidane, listen, man, it's a different time now.
Because I've seen a lot of talk about that on Twitter. Zidane.
You know, Zidane, I think nobody, I don't know if he's got an agent or whatever, but whoever does his stuff, don't tell nobody anything. So I think everybody just wants him back in football. So every time a job becomes available, they just link it to him. It's the same with the Bayern job. And he was like, no.
I personally think Zidane's waiting for that France job, man. I think like Deschamps probably. I reckon he knows Deschamps probably only got one more at least. I reckon maybe he'll do the Euros. He might cut after that. Maybe I don't know, but I feel like he's waiting for that France job if it becomes available.
Somebody on Twitter saying Sean Dyche.
I take him, bro. I actually take him, bro.
Worse.
Sure, I swear down.
I'm just saying,
You know what?
Thomas
You,
Frank-
you know what's no? I'll take Kieran. I'll take Kieran McKenna. I'll take Kieran McKenna.
I don't think so. I think
I'll
he's
take.
the year in the
Nah, I'll take him, bro. I'll take him now. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'll take him now. He's what?
What your reaction here is what we reacted with Oli. It's the
I'll take
it's
him.
the vibes.
No,
That's it. You're riding on the vibes.
I'll take him.
You're seeing Ed Sheeran singing with him in Ipswich.
Nah. He's, you know what it
On
is.
Twitter, online, everything's hype.
You got back-to-back.
Have you seen the way Ipswich play football as well?
I've been looking into it recently.
They play good football, bro. Like,
But it's the same thing as company.
nah, and in League One, they're doing work, bro. Like, you could tell he knows how to set up a team and he can inspire a team, bro. That's a lot for a manager, and he knows Man United. He's been there. It's not like he's been in that club. He knows the environment,
Yeah, but he
so it's
knows
not going to
the
be completely.
environment. I don't think he don't know a good environment. He wasn't part of it.
And you can tell the players love him as well, because all the players are posting it. I don't know if you see it, but bad players were posting like when he got promoted and that, they were putting it on their stories and that, like watching the game and that. So clearly he's got a good like connection with that. You know what I mean? Clearly people like him. Is my point. So maybe it's a bit early, but I would have him. I would have him maybe in the future. Keep an eye on that
That
one.
company last year, no big team. We're gonna give that company. I think he's done alright in the Prem because he stuck to the way they play football, and Burnley didn't have the players for it.
Yeah.
And they gave it all things considered, because halfway through the season they're like, we won't give you anything. Because they are on the start season, they'll get popped every game.
I mean, they're still potentially.
They had an okay run towards the end. But I'm gonna say to you is McKenna's company 12 months ago, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, and we've seen company with that made a lot of mistakes. We already faced it. With them, man, if you're giving McKenna, you're saying I'm giving you 5 years. You need to give someone like him
But
5
the
years.
United fan base even have patience for that, given what we've already been.
There's a club. This guy just spent 1.5 billion.
That's the point. Yeah, we don't have the patience for it. So
We were saying give Ten Hag time. Now
all,
it's been-
all things considered, with these names flying about, I'd still say Ten Hag's the best option.
Successful. It's because you lot don't look like you're going in the right
Let's say Ten Hag
That's the
wasn't
problem with
Mohammed.
Ten Hag.
Let's say Ten Hag wasn't our manager right now, and he was on that list. I'd still probably pick Ten Hag, which is why I'd say
Not
just
if
keep him for a
not
season.
if it's after this United.
I can't blame him for. I can't. You know what? I've seen this at United for so long that I can't. I'm not. I don't think he's to blame for it.
It's not to say that he's not to pay for it at all.
I'm not saying he's completely
You have to
like.
judge him in this environment.
He's not.
That's what's in front of
Listen,
him.
he's not bereft of all blame. I'm not saying that he doesn't have things to answer for. He's got a lot of things to answer for, but that doesn't necessarily mean sack him. He's got a lot of problems and things he needs to solve. And at the end of the day, a lot of these problems do fall on the manager's doorstep. But at the end of the day, bro, I still don't think sack him. I think he's got.
You know what the funniest thing is? You man in the summer told me you're going to get a new keeper and then your side of football is going to change. You got a new keeper and he can't use his feet.
Nah, he's been good. He's been
No,
good.
I'm not betting. I'm saying his the strength that you brought him for hasn't added to your team.
But you see how angry he gets. Onana gets vexed because he sees there's no movement in front of him, so he can't play that ping. And you've seen it in the back line in front of Onana.
Don't get rid of the head. Should have kept that.
Mohammed, no. The back line, listen, hold on. I don't like this. I hate that narrative so much. Keep the head. Listen. Listen, hold on. Bro, everybody knows the keeper doesn't play in unison by himself. It's the keeper and the back four. The keeper and the back four this season, we've had 37 different defensive setups this season. You know that? Do you know how crazy that is? That's Mohammed, 37. That is insane. I don't even know how that's possible.
Choice, fourth choice, fifth choice, and then our youth centre back.
And then Casemiro.
And then now we've got Casemiro and Johnny Evans, who's only going to be there for pre-season.
And also, Johnny Evans failing fitness is still playing.
Johnny Evans, you might give him a contract.
A 36-year-old, and bro, it looks like a masterstroke. Because if he wasn't there, who'd be playing for us?
He played. And Casemiro.
Sergio Ramos on a free transfer.
Bro,
he's up for the La Liga Team of the Year. If you needed a free transfer to tie you over, should have got him.
Bro,
listen. The fact that Johnny Evans hasn't let himself down and is showing himself to be a respectable defender, fair play to you, Johnny Evans. But that doesn't mean signing him.
Ten Hag clearly saw that.
No, because he's still not good enough. He can't complete 90 minutes. All of these things are due to his age, and he shouldn't be. The fact that you even have to, he shouldn't be an option for Man United.
He shouldn't. No, the fact that we even. No, the fact that we even have to use him shows that there's a crisis. Because he's our fifth choice centre back.
He shouldn't even be your fifth choice centre back. Because you should, if really and truly, if you don't have this young.
If it's not him, it'll be an 18-year-old. Because even our youngster, Willy Kambala, is injured.
And also,
I don't understand what you. Even the youngsters is. What do you want? We have no other youngsters to go, bro. They're not ready yet. They're not ready, clearly. Kambala's the one that was ready, and he came in and he looks ready.
Been assembled terribly. If Johnny Evans is a part of it.
So give him
2024.
So listen, this squad.
I don't understand. You can't
like
tell
you
me
said,
that's
last year Ten Hag.
Last
year Ten Hag came in and he gave everyone. When he first came in, he gave everyone a clean slate, and he said, "You know what, guys, this clean slate, you lot can. Let's see what you can do for me." We've seen now that those players have let him down. I personally think maybe we should have kept Fred, but you know what, whatever.
You should have kept Fred. You paid more for Amrabat.
Yeah, I can't lie. I think we should have kept Fred. We took Fred for granted.
Very underwhelming signing.
Yeah, he's been stinky still. But yeah, look, like I said, next season I think let's aim for getting back in the top 4. I think that'll be a lot easier considering that we're only competing in the Premier League, Carabao Cup, and FA Cup. Maybe try and get a nice little, if we can win the FA Cup this season, I'm not even that fussed about a little cup run. But if we don't, if we can try go for another FA Cup, why not? You know what I mean? Next season, and then let's build on that. Do you know what I mean? Let's get to the end of that season, take stock of where we are. What have we seen from Ten Hag? Is it enough to give him another contract? If not, let's see what the managers are available, and let's take it from there. Like,
I'm worried.
There's no rush. We're not going anywhere too fast. That's my point. Whether we sack him this season or whether we don't, if we sack him this season and bring in another manager, we're still not going to do anything for another 3 years. So my point is, let's give him some time, because it might be the fact that we might be on the cusp of doing something really good, right? But we just don't know it yet. So let's just wait, and it's worth that risk, is my point, of giving it an extra year, because what's the difference between 3 or 4 years? At the end of the day, that's how long it's going to take.
United can't just keep writing seasons off.
But that's my point. We're writing off a whole other manager now and starting it all over again if we do that.
You're not writing him off. He hasn't shown enough progress. If they sacked him now,
progress isn't always linear. Progress isn't always straight up like that. Sometimes you go up, then you go down, then you go up again. And you have to take a step back.
But there's no guarantee.
I don't think 2 years is long enough. Personally, I don't think 2 years is long enough, because we've seen, even when we've let go of Mourinho, we've said, I've heard it so many times from Man United fans. Maybe we should have kept Mourinho for a bit longer, man. When we got rid of Oli, maybe we should have kept Oli for a bit longer. Now we got rid of Van Gaal. Maybe we should have kept. What's the difference now? When we get rid of Ten Hag, it might be a couple of years now. We see someone like Southgate or someone whoever comes in. You never know. Tuchel comes in, we'll be like, you know what? We should have kept Ten Hag for that extra year, bro. I'm bored of it. As a Man United fan, I don't want to hear it no more, bro. Let me try this. Yeah, we already shit. You don't understand?
Listen, Ten Hag was good.
Almost 4 seasons, and he was almost sacked.
Bro, Fergie finished 10
for one of those seasons. In the 1980s to 2024. You just can't do it. I can't compare, because United were not United now. What Fergie left behind that massive like
I'm saying the
juggernaut of a club.
The beginning of his
Yeah, but I would say to you, Man United, when he took them over, were not the juggernaut that they are today. So you can't even, there wasn't the same pressure. You can't even expect him to come in.
No, listen,
the reason
forget
why
about that.
United now is because of what Fergie built. You become a club that was the most league titles in the country. So the expectations now can't be what Fergie were. It's a
Listen,
completely different time. That's what
I'm not saying get. I'm literally. There's not. I'm personally. Like I said, I've seen it all before. See, I've heard it all before. Literally, bro.
The worst thing is I actually thought about that song.
Bro, I actually have, bro.
Sang it,
I've heard it all before, bro. It's always the same. The players aren't trained. They're not blah, 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 blah. They can't teach. They can't see we don't see what they're doing. There's no style of play. There's no this. With Ollie, he don't know tactics. With Ten Hag, he don't know tactics, bro.
in the Premier League.
Yeah, we're a bad team.
You
I'm
could
not
use
debating
two
that.
more. That's nearly half of the games in the Premier League are 19 matches. You've lost 14. That's, you know what I'm trying to say here? That means if you had won every, and I know you haven't won every other game. If you win every other game, 19 times 3,
Yeah,
you're getting 57 points.
We're having one of the worst seasons I've ever
Like,
seen.
this is
One of the worst seasons
historically
we've ever had, yeah.
That's why when you say progress isn't linear, but I'm seeing more decline. If you looked at where you were 2 years ago to now, you'll be like, yeah, there was a slight bump, but overall, there's not.
But again, you have to look deeper into that, bro. We've had the worst injury crisis I've also ever seen in my life. I've never seen us stripped to these bare bones in my life.
before now, the recent one.
I'm not going to do this now, but if we went through the teams that United have fielded against some of the performers they put out, you cannot tell me that those players that take the field are that shit. I'm not having it. There are games where, yeah, you could tell, you know what, man's out of position, he makes a mistake. Bro, we could go.
Because players like
Your team against Coventry City, what is that? The next week you come back, that Brentford game, when you managed to snake a draw.
you know what? That's something Ten Hag needs to answer for. We can't keep leads. We can't hold leads.
But in them games, you should. Like,
But it's something that, like I said, I'm not saying Ten Hag's a bereft of blame. We have had that consistent problem since the beginning of this season. We take leads and we can't hold them. We had it against Galatasaray away, we ended up losing. We had it against Berov in a lot of crucial games, and we ended up giving away important leads and losing games. That's something the manager needs to answer for. And I don't know whether that's the players not listening to him or whatever, but that's something he needs to answer for. And bro, if we don't see an improvement on that next season, then yes, he's another reason why we should get rid of him. But give it time, is my point.
It's not 4-0 worse than Palace. The team that Bournemouth turned up to Old Trafford beat you 3-0. That team, it might lose to Bournemouth because it's got injuries, but not 3-0 bopped off the park. Like, yeah, like I'm saying, if United should be getting 4th and you're 5th and 6th because of the injuries, and you can see, but it's a consistent thing. It's like, it's not, I'm not saying injuries don't have an impact, but some of the shit I see cannot be the team. I'm not looking at these teams and be like, yeah, this team shouldn't get anything here. Because like I said, some of these games, even like when you lost to Brighton, that team, yeah, it might not be your first choice 11, but you had like enough professionals that you shouldn't be losing these games like that.
Look, there's been some very underwhelming performances this season, and again, they fall under the they're like, you're right. There's a lot of reasons why maybe some of these games we should lose, whatever, blah blah blah, but not in the manner that we've been losing them. I agree with that. And again, he's got things to answer for. I'm not shying away from that. I just don't think just because he's got things to answer for that means sack him straight away. I think a lot of things that also have happened have been out of his control. And I think if we had our full strength team this season, I don't think we would have played this badly. And if we would have, then maybe it would have been even more reason for him to go. But I still probably would have said keep him. But look, let's move on from Man United anyway, bro. What's been happening elsewhere? City.
Fulham flying kites.
Yep, they pumped for them. Yeah, literally, they are so. They're just in their groove now, innit? They're in there like end of season, we ain't gonna do nothing.
Like,
Do you have any hope? Do you have any hope that Tottenham are gonna do anything?
No, I have no hope. Like I said, if there's a thing for expectation, I have negative.
Who did last game against? Like,
West Ham, like I said, I was speaking to my brother, I have more options hope that Rice will ring his boys at West Ham, Arteta will ring his dad Moyes and be like, listen bro, do something here. And they get Jordan Tottenham. But we're playing everybody, yeah it is. First of all, we've had a horrible run. I can say it now that we've got out of it. But everybody thought we're not getting through this period where we have to play Chelsea, Tottenham, United, all of them, innit? And we did. I mean, we lost to Villa, but like we've had one loss in 2024. We're in May. Now one draw with City. So it's not been the second half run that's really.
You know what it is? You lost some stupid games to like Fulham and like fucking Villa. Like there's some games you could have like. You know what I mean? But you can't. You know what, City? Unless you open up a good gap and you're almost perfect, you can't beat them. If you somehow are in their grasp, they'll go on and win 18 games and just do it. They've done it like 4 or 5 times now. They'll just win like 18 games in the season, towards the end of the season, and just somehow finish above you. They'll just get to that finish line, bro. They're just that team, man. So you're just coming up against an absolute powerhouse. Which leads me on to the next question.
Yeah.
Me and Mohammed have been having this argument a lot this week, or the past couple of weeks. Is Arteta elite? Right. Obviously, I've said no, and Mohammed has been quite strongly saying yes.
He says no because he hasn't won Premier League.
Not even. Let me make it very clear. My point. No, let me make it my point before you argue against. Right. The reason I don't think he's elite, I think elite is a.
What do you think? I was gonna say, what do you consider as elite?
Exactly. I think elite is a title that you acquire not even just after winning one Premier League. That's a title you acquire after being like undisputedly. You've been undisputed at least the best a few times in different, maybe even conditions. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like elite is like means that between you and your peers, there's not really many better than you. Do you know what I mean? There's like do you know what I mean? There's not even maybe 3 or 4 people better than you. Do you know what I mean? Elite is like you're in that top 5 in your profession of the world. Maybe that's elite, right? Or maybe not at least top 10 even of like elite is a big title in my eyes, right? Like Pep Guardiola is, you could say he's elite. Klopp even. Klopp. A lot of people argue he's not elite because even he's only won one Premier League. Yeah, or they say at least in the Premier League era he's not elite. He's only won one Premier League, or he's not a Premier League elite.
Yeah, he's an elite.
Like, is he he's an elite manager, but is he a Premier League elite? Maybe. No, he is an elite manager, but I'm saying like.
So I'm not gonna say because I'm.
Hold on, he is an elite manager, but I'm saying like. There are people, whether there's a small group of people that might say that Klopp, you could say they would argue even his record, even Klopp, and I think he is elite. I'm saying some people would even argue his record. So for me to say Arteta is elite after winning singular FA Cups his whole time, you don't become elite after progressing a team. You become elite, I think, after you're consistently winning trophies. I think so. People like Ancelotti, elite. Guardiola, elite. I think Conte, you could say he's elite because he's won trophies almost everywhere he's been. He's won multiple league titles in different countries and FA Cups. So these things are elite, but you know what I mean? Like,
I'm not gonna lie. In my opinion, I think Arteta is a great manager. I think he's what he's been able to do, implemented the style of play, everything, done a great job. He's going against a massive powerhouse like City, which is hard to beat. Even just looking at the structures of the club and the money and everything else with the clubs. However, I'm going to have to agree with Merzen in terms of elite status, you have to be a winner. And he hasn't won. I'm not saying he doesn't have... I think he has the potential, if he manages to continue the way he's going right now with Arsenal and slowly developing year by which he has, I think he keeps going forward. Last year, you lot bottled it towards the end of the season, in my opinion. This year, you've shown more... resilience, consistency, you keep going, fighting to the end and actually getting results. So I think that's already been positive.
I just want to end my point as well just by saying, right, I think he's performing at an elite level currently, but he is not elite yet. I can see performing at elite level by fighting against an elite manager like Guardiola, taking him all the way to the final day, all of that. That's performing at an elite level. The same way I could even say about Harry Kane. Harry Kane hasn't got the title yet of elite because he hasn't won those. He hasn't done elite things yet. Is my point, right? And that's another. Like to be elite and gain that elite title, you have to have done maybe multiple elite things, and he hasn't done that yet. So
I think also you have to remember he's only been a manager for how many years now? 4 years?
4 full seasons.
4 full seasons.
Yeah.
Do I think he has the potential to be an elite manager? I think 100% he has the potential to be it. I don't think that's where he's at now, but I think he's on track.
Alright, so let me give you my...
That's my point.
Elite, First of all, we're talking about Klopp. Klopp's elite. If you're saying he's not elite, you're talking about historically.
No, I say he is elite.
No,
I said he is elite.
You gave an example that some people would consider him elite. I'm saying they're not talking about elite. They're talking about what they're talking about historically.
Yeah.
If we're talking about the managers who are in the game today, I think Arteta, other than maybe Pep and Ancelotti, who are closer to the end of their careers than they are at the start, you could put him up against any manager practicing now from what his body of work is. Because you're only judging.
Do you think Xavi is elite?
Xabi Alonso, yes.
No, Xavi.
Xavi.
Xavi,
You can't argue he's elite, yeah.
I don't think he's elite, but that's my point. I don't think he's elite, but he's come in and he's done some pretty good things. You know what I mean?
But why not? Because he's
You can ask a lot of Barcelona fans; they'll tell you they don't think he's elite.
The other reason I think is that the Premier League now, we know we just need City to draw. Arsenal are going to win the game against Everton more than likely. Yeah. So I don't think his ability to manage whether he's elite or not changes on whether City draw one of their next 2 games. Because that's the margin we're actually talking about. If City draw the next 2 games, he'll be a Premier League champion.
No, because you're looking at.
But I'm telling you, his managerial ability is going to be the
Because
same.
what you're looking at. Hold on.
He just said it wouldn't even be just the fact that one trophy kind of thing. It's like it have to be multiple things to actually enter that elite phase.
And also,
So even if you won the Premier this season, it doesn't mean that we're now all of a sudden.
yeah, and also, hold on. I was going to say.
Still be elite because he should have won it out.
Hold on. Also, I want to get back to that point because that point I don't think is correct. The reason you lot haven't won the league isn't because City might not draw. You lot, the league is over 38 games. You lot dropped points earlier in the season. The City didn't drop. Put it that way, even if it comes down to 1 point, and that's why. No, but that's like you said. Hold on. We're talking about elite. We're talking about elite right now. If you're talking about elite, you have to be judged at those elite margins. And those at the elite level, it's those 1 point margins that matter. And if you're getting time and time again, even if it's last season, if it's a couple points here, and this season now it's even closer, it's 1 point. These points matter because at the elite level, those margins they matter, bro. So I'm judging him at that standard.
No, listen, and the other thing, you know what, Klopp? Everybody, you know what? Everybody knows Klopp's an elite manager because they know what resources he had and who he was competing with. Arsenal are overachieving. From when he took us over to now, we should not have been in 2 title races. It shouldn't have happened. When he took it, we were in 11th place. His first full season he had.
I mean, you've spent 700 million as well.
Yeah, but in that time,
it's not just been like
in that time
over.
Frame,
You know what I mean?
First of all, in that time frame, City and Liverpool, who were already top and thing, have spent more than us. So the teams we're trying to catch are outspending us anyway, and they're already ahead of us, and they have bigger wage bills. So he's not spending more. He's spending a fair amount of money, which really, like I said, that actually shows another reason why he's elite, because he's got most.
But if you look at only City, Liverpool, and maybe United have spent that type of money, and that type of money.
Chelsea have spent $1 billion.
Okay, even Chelsea. But even Chelsea, you could say as well, they're all trying to what? To get at that top level. Only top level teams spend that level of money. So he's spending that level of money to now compete with the big boys, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Have been successful. I don't see realistic. With the money that's been spent,
Yeah,
the last 4 or 5
he's been good with it. No, listen, we're giving him props. He's been good with it.
Yeah. There's some things that you not have glorified in the sense that I think even go against your argument right now. You're saying, oh, he doesn't care about the FA Cup. He don't care about the.
They don't care about the League Cup, and I don't care about it. I never want him to care.
So he purposely lost those games so he can focus.
He didn't purposely lose those games.
You said that.
I said he didn't care if he lost a game because the team he played, he was not risking his first team. He didn't risk any first team players. So that game to him wasn't important. Yeah, what was important was saving his players for the league.
Okay, let me ask you another question. Do elite managers ever want to sacrifice that, or do they want to win everything?
When elite managers, I've seen, first of all, I saw Fergie after he won the treble not want to enter the competition. And when it come round to it, he dashed away. Klopp last year when Liverpool competing in the Club World Cup, literally fielded a joke team because he knew 2 days later he had the Club World Cup. That happens sometimes. You work with your resources. Wenger, he's the greatest manager that's ever managed Arsenal. Used to treat the Carling Cup as a youth team competition. So that argument thing, so yeah.
So last time you got knocked out the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup earlier, and he says, "Oh, he don't care about that."
Last season,
they would matter in this conversation. They would matter about being elite. I'm not gonna lie. If he won like.
City just came off a triple.
Yeah, but Pep is arguably the greatest manager ever. I'm not saying he's Pep. I'm not saying he's
I know,
but look at the team.
Even the mentality, I don't think it's an elite level mentality.
You know, Arsenal have resources far less than City. City, like you said, have arguably the greatest manager ever. And he's taken them to the last day of the season. You don't do that if you're not an elite manager.
Listen,
Because we know Pep's the best.
like I said to you, he's performing.
We're not- we're
Listen,
clear about it. This
he's
season,
performing at an
performing
elite
at the
level,
thing. This
and
is
I'll
the
take
first
it.
player, first manager to play all of the top 6 and go undefeated. 10 games, 6 wins, 4 draws.
Listen, you know what
That
these,
is
you know what
elite
these
soccer.
nice
We've got
stats,
the
you know what
most
these stats are? They're the dressing.
No,
They're
they're
the extra. They're the little like, they're the little things that you add to the main event. Do you know what I mean? They're the side acts. They're nice stats, but what you want to crown you want to crown those nice stats on a trophy, a big
You win the
trophy.
league without winning 20,
And
30 games.
listen,
Arsenal
hold on,
won
hold
the
on.
most league games they've ever won this
That's
season.
fantastic,
27
but you have
games.
listen. That's great.
But
I'm
how
not.
do you get to winning a league if you don't
Hold
do
on.
things like that?
I'll tell you how. By doing it more than the next team did.
Yeah,
And
but you
that
have to
you-
go there. If Arsenal have never won
100%.
27
Hold on,
games,
Mohammed.
and he's
I'm
now
not
able
saying.
to do it,
Listen, when
you're
I'm saying
saying,
this,
yeah, but he's
when
not
I'm saying
better
this, you
than-
take offense to it as by me saying he
he's
hasn't done.
not better than Pep.
He's doing.
Wait,
Listen, let me just make this point. You many times told me Harry Kane is not elite because he hasn't won any trophies, and I
I
tell
think he's
you,
not special.
he's
That's why
performing.
he's
Okay,
not
he's performing at an elite level. He scored what, 44 goals in like 45 games or something this season. He scored like 36 or 37 goals in like 35 Bundesliga games. He smashed it this season. But guess what? He came up short. He scored goals in the Champions League. He set up nice goals in the Champions League. Guess what? Came up short. And at the end of the day, he's doing elite things, or he's performing at an elite level, you could say, but he's not doing those elite things. And he's not elite yet because he hasn't got past those final hurdles. And so far, Arteta hasn't done that. Not to say he will, not to say he won't do that. No, but you have to become to break into that elite category. You have to do elite things, and doing elite things isn't challenging. Doing elite things is winning.
Let me build on that quickly. You said it's not challenging, yeah? City beat Liverpool when Liverpool were doing unreal. What was it? They beat them by a point, wasn't it? They were like 90 something points.
Yeah.
Liverpool done a great job. They didn't
Yeah.
win the league.
Klopp's
But what
won
did they
one
win?
league title in 9 years.
They won a Champions
They
League.
won the Champions League.
Yeah.
These are things that in the major leagues. These are the big achievements that can put you in.
You're
So even
creating
if
like
Klopp has
legacy.
only won one title, he still won a Champions League in that time.
Yeah, but
He's
you
won
know
an FA
that.
Cup. He's won 2 League
In
Cups.
the Champions League as well.
It's a 4 trophies in 9 years. It's not elite
He
form.
competed
Or
in the
listen,
high level and he
4
won a
trophies
league. He won a
in
trophy
9
that your club has never won before.
4 trophies in 9 years. You wouldn't say that's elite. If we're talking about Pep shit, that's not elite. Pep wins 4 trophies in a year. This guy won
No,
4 in 9.
I was giving you an example of a manager.
No, he won
who's
every.
already had a senior
No,
resource.
Klopp.
Why do we know
Listen,
Klopp is elite? Because we see that he consistently, with under resources that are nowhere comparable to City, is able to compete and get more.
Not
out of
just
his players
compete,
than he should.
not just
Even
compete.
this
Give
year,
him the credit he deserves. He won everything there was to win in English football.
over 9 years, not regularly.
That's
He won
okay.
it once.
He did it.
Yeah, and that no, but
No,
that's not.
but
you
he
said
did
that
it.
more than- No, but what did you say?
My
Winning
point
once
is,
doesn't
he's
make you
consistent. No, but he's consistently won, and he's consistent.
consistently won.
Huh?
No, he
Arsenal
Barcelona
won
won
a
3
Champions
league. Yeah, Barcelona won 3 league titles, won 7 FA
No,
Cups.
no, I don't know.
In how many years though?
But you
In
said,
20
he
years,
said
he won
every
14
trophy.
trophies
So
at Arsenal.
and that average isn't great.
That's 9 times 2, 18. Yeah, 4 times 2, 8. Wenger won 7 FA Cups alone.
7. Okay, cool, but 7. That's still not
He won
amazing.
3 league titles and he went unbeaten. What are you on about? This don't even make.
I'm just saying. I
in
said
terms of
Klopp,
their
he
time.
said
Wenger's 100% elite, by the
he
way.
said he's
But
won every trophy there is to win.
in English
That's
football,
what
That's
Klopp's
what he
elite.
was saying.
But I'm just saying to you, the idea that even if he hadn't have won that Champions League, he would have still been elite. Because what he's doing with Liverpool this season,
and he's also won 2 league titles in Germany. Do you know what I mean?
he
Which
won 1
aren't.
league title in Germany.
He won 2.
He won 1. He just won 1. He won
What?
DFB Cup.
Who
He
won the
one.
first? Who won the first one? Dortmund.
I mean, he won the first one.
No, he
won one league, one
Dortmund
title.
won 2 league titles, bro. No, they won it. They won it too. I'll check. I'll
Van
fact check.
Klopp has won 1. But anyway, I'm saying to you, even Klopp this season, what he did this season was elite performance, even though he finished 3rd. Because that team shouldn't have even been anywhere near a title race. The fact that he got them anywhere close to a title race is 3rd. If you're saying trophies are the only thing that make you elite, then you're not taking into account the conditions man have to work under. Because I can't expect somebody, when Ancelotti was managing Everton, nobody expected him to win a league title.
Yeah, he
you
won-
all know Ancelotti's elite.
Oh, listen, this is Klopp's honours, yeah. He won a Champions League. He won a Club World Cup. He won 2 league titles in Germany. He won a Premier League, a UEFA Super Cup, a German Cup, an FA. He won an FA Cup, 2
Don't
league
tell me
cups.
Super Cups, you don't believe in Community Shield.
All right, 2 League Cups. I didn't say two. I said UEFA, the UEFA Super Cup. I didn't say the German. No,
That's
the
same as
UEFA
well.
Super Cup.
It's also what is it?
It's better than
No,
bro.
it's not.
It's
It's
better
a
than
competition.
than a charity shield. I'll be honest.
Yeah, but it's the same competition. If you're already charity shield, you can't rate the Super.
Fair enough.
All right, cool,
so
whatever.
I'll take that, yeah, fair enough.
Like I said, 1 league title in England, 2 league titles in Germany, a German Cup, an FA Cup, 2 League Cups, a Club World Cup, a Champions League, bro. That is no. There you go. That's multiple times in his career.
Over how many years?
It doesn't matter.
it doesn't
It's
matter.
multiple times in his career where he's done elite things.
How many years
Like,
has
do you
he
see
not
what I'm
been
saying?
anywhere near a trophy in his career? He's not there every. He's not even.
He's not. He's had some bad seasons,
No,
but
it's not bad season. It's who he's managing. Dortmund and Liverpool were always They were always the underdog. So whenever he's able to win a title or do something, he's actually overachieving. The fact that he wasn't able to consistently challenge in Germany or consistently win the
So
league,
you're saying the fact that-
because he's at clubs that can't do that.
The fact
when
that-
you compete with Bayern Munich,
so you think if you finish second to Pep Guardiola, you're elite?
I'm saying if you're able to get 90 points in the Premier League, you're 89 consistently. Yes, you're an elite manager because it's fucking difficult to do. And if, of course, you are.
Yeah, but this is only
You haven't got 90 points yet.
and this is only
89.
and it's only the second
Yeah,
season.
yeah, but out of 4,
So I don't
2
think he's
seasons he was
elite now.
So let's say he's taking you from 8. So everything he's done is elite. To do elite things, you have to be elite. Now, if you're saying he's got no legacy, he's
No,
got
but
no
it's over a
history,
period of
say
time.
no, yeah, but in a period of time he's managed. What I'm trying to say to you
No,
is,
but you can't judge it off that.
no, I can't judge him off time he hasn't had.
No,
I can't judge
that's
him off
not-
when he was
I
a
mean,
player.
I mean, you don't judge him yet. Is my
No,
point.
Xabi Alonso now has only had
saying-
2 seasons in management. He's an elite manager.
Yeah, but what has he done?
He won a league, but even though say to you, Arteta could win the league if they draw next week. I'm trying to say to you, right now they're both elite. I don't need City to draw for me to think like now Arteta's elite because he's won the league. Because I've seen
Also,
it.
he went undefeated, bro. It's a little bit different as well.
No, but I'm trying to say to you is, you're saying you can't do it after 2 seasons. What if he flops in the next 5-10 years? That could happen. We can all then change our minds about him. But right now, everything I've seen from him is he's an elite manager. Same with Arteta. You're saying because he hasn't won enough, that means he has no legacy. He has no legacy, yes, because he hasn't won enough. He's won an FA Cup. That's not a legacy of an elite manager. Historically, you're going to compare him with historical. He's got nothing to compare him to in terms of that. But in terms of the managers we're practicing today, like, let's go back to United. If for some strange affair Arteta was available and Ten Hag wasn't there, you would take it. I'm not even going to ask you a question because I know you would.
That doesn't mean that he's an elite manager.
But how many? I gave you world-class top managers. You didn't want him. You found reasons not to take him. So the fact that you're willing to take Arteta shows he ticks a lot of boxes.
I'm not saying we said that though. We said he's a great.
So you're saying
I said at the
he's not
beginning.
elite?
At the
Yeah.
beginning, I said
He's a great manager.
Arteta is a really good.
And he's
football
performing
manager.
at an elite
And
level.
He's doing very well. And we
If you
gave
don't
him
do
that.
that,
Though. We
even
didn't say
2
he
years
has.
out of 4. Listen, he could fuck up the rest of his career. He could win bad shit, whatever. But he's able. He's clearly an elite manager. Everything. Changing his tactics, identifying players.
Potential
improving
to be.
players. No, what?
He hasn't done any elite things to be an elite manager, bro. You can't just walk into being elite just by being a challenge for the title in England, bro.
Like you said, winning a title isn't the only thing that makes you elite. That's what makes you a winner. That's
No.
what gives you a CV.
Winning
That's
multiple
what
things is what makes you elite, bro.
No.
Not just winning a league title. You're right. Winning multiple things makes you
that's what
elite.
makes you elite.
It does for me.
That's
It
what
does
gives
for
you a
me.
CV, yeah.
No, it does for me.
Define the word elite.
For me-
Find the definition. Because
Listen,
for you, it could be anything.
That's my definition for football. Elite
Well,
managers.
if
For
you
elite
have
managers in
if you
football,
have
bro.
A definition that only you're willing
For
to
elite
subscribe
managers
to.
in football.
The elite
There's
managers
no
in football
definition
are the
for
best
that.
managers in football. And he's one of the best managers currently working in football.
I don't think that he is right now.
Okay, how
Because
many
he hasn't
managers-
won anything, bro.
I don't care how many managers you think right now is better than Arteta.
He hasn't
If
won
ma-
anything.
how
I'm
many
not having
managers
it. I'm
right
not having
now-
it.
I'm asking you a question. How
He's
many
gotta win
managers
something,
do
bro.
you think right now are better than Arteta? I'm asking you right
Bro.
now.
How many managers do you think are better than
that right now
Arteta?
that have got jobs that are working that you think are better than Arteta?
Bro, every single manager that's won a league title can sit there and say that they're better than
No,
Arteta
they
right
can't,
now.
man.
Yes, they
That's a
can.
stupid thing to say.
Yes, they can.
No, that's
Xavi can say he's better than him. Xabi Alonso can say he's better than him.
No, but Emmanuel Pellegrini.
Thomas
can't
Tuchel
tell
can
us-
say he's better than him.
First of all, Thomas
Hold on,
Tuchel,
hold on, hold on.
when-
The list goes on. You ask me who's better. All of
Thomas
these.
Tuchel's better than him. I'll give you that. I don't even think he's better than him, but I can give
But
you.
you can
I'll
say he's
accept
better
his
than him.
argument, because
Xabi
he's
Alonso
Champions
can say he's
League.
better than him. Xavi can say he's better than him.
Because of the manager. You actually. I'm not asking you. Do you think these
Zidane can
managers
say
are
he's better than him.
Do you think these managers are better than him? But what do these managers?
All of these managers can say they're better than him.
I'm saying, do you think they're better than him? I'm asking you because we're talking about your definition. So forget about what it could say. I'm asking you right now.
I think
Which
Xabi
of these
Alonso over him,
managers-
yeah. He's better than him.
Yeah. Would you take Xabi right now if it was United? Would you take Xabi or Mikel Arteta?
Well, Xavi's proven he
No, I'm
can
not
win.
asking. Who would you take?
He's proven he
Don't
can win
decide
me a
the
league.
question.
He's proven he can win me a league.
You would take Xabi over. I'm not asking
Yeah,
you what he's
probably.
proven. Yeah, probably. You don't even believe it, bro.
Probably.
You're just trying to think.
What?
Probably. It's not a probably. I'm
But
not giving you an option.
This is all subjective now.
No, I'm
There's
giving
no
you
fact
a,
here.
You're
You know
the
what
one
I'm
who
saying?
made it subjective.
It's a matter of like if I
I told him. Look up
because
the
there's
definition
no
for elite.
arbitrary fact here.
No, there is a definition for elite. Look it up.
No,
You didn't
right
want to.
now,
You
I'll ask
chose.
you, I would take Arteta over Xavi personally.
So there you go. So,
But
so
that's
yeah,
a
but
subjective thing.
but
Yeah.
his argument wasn't.
My argument is that there's no
It's
fact to
subjective.
it being like that he's
But
definitely.
subjectively, the managers that he.
If he sat in a room with Javi today and he said to him, "I'm elite, bro," and Javi could say, "Shut up, bro. I know what it feels like to win a league title. Do you?" And he can't say, "Yes, I do." He can say, "I know what it feels like to challenge and be close, but I can't tell you. I know what it does. I know how it feels to do elite things." That's what. That's
You
what.
can't
That's
say
what
I
it
want
comes
to
down
lead
to.
because I can manage a football team better than you. When I put a football team on the pitch, then we'll organise.
Well,
thing.
what's your
The
evidence
reason
of
you
that?
want a league because we can watch.
What's the
on
reason you
TV.
won the league?
We watch.
What's the reason you won the league?
The reason he won the league is he manages Barcelona. Sometimes they turn that season.
Not a very good Barcelona team. Against a Real Madrid team that's much better, by the way.
They weren't. The Real Madrid last year wasn't much better.
I think it was.
Yeah. And
I think
you
it
can't
was.
say you think it was because they won the league and the other one were like 15 points off. Real
Nah,
Madrid
but
weren't even in a race. The league was done by February. So how can you say I think Real Madrid were?
Well, okay,
Based
there
on
we go.
what?
Then he absolutely smashed the league. Then.
No,
He's
no,
got
he
another
smashed
reason.
the league
He's got
because
another
he
reason to
didn't
tell
win a
you.
lot of games. Real Madrid were off it.
Mohammed, he
When
won
you
the league,
comment,
and
you
Arteta
watch
didn't.
football,
That's
But
that's
Arteta's
where
a
it
better
comes down to.
manager.
Ranieri even won the league,
Ranieri's definitely not a better manager than Arteta.
but he won the league.
Yeah, well, I'm not disputing that. These all have better
So-
CVs.
Simeone can
is a
say he's a
world-class
better. Yeah,
manager.
Simeone is a
He's one of
better
the best
manager
managers in
than
the world.
100%.
Yeah,
Simeone is a
nobody's
better manager.
disputing with Simeone. So.
Conte's a
Well,
better
nobody's
manager
disputing
than him.
Klopp, innit?
Conte's a
Even
better
Conte,
manager.
if you want to argue, but I'm saying to you,
Like so,
he's managers.
there's a lot of
You
managers.
wouldn't
in
take
it.
Conte,
But I'm
but you
listing
take
these
Arteta.
managers off.
No,
Yeah.
you wouldn't take Conte, United, but he wouldn't take Arteta. But he would take Arteta. So it shows anyway he actually thinks of man. He just doesn't want to give him credit, which is fine. You keep being a hater. But I'm gonna let's pull out the definition for elite, and then we'll take away Madden's definition of elite.
But listen, I'm listing these managers off saying that all of these managers sit here and tell me.
Thing is because they
All these managers sit here and tell me that they're elite, but Arteta, I think if Arteta sat in a room with any of them, like I said, they can't turn around and say, you know what, I'm a better manager. Or Arteta can say, I'm a better manager than you, because he can't. Because they can say, look at my fucking trophies.
Okay, listen.
I've won bare trophies. You haven't. So until you've done that, you come back and talk to me.
No, that's not what makes you elite.
That's
If
what I
Messi
think
had
makes you
never
elite,
won a
bro.
trophy and he was the same player, he'd still be elite. He
No,
just had
he
CV.
would go
He
somewhere.
had no legacy.
No,
But
someone
his ability was
someone
beyond.
would pick him up if Messi was that good.
No, that's not
If
what
he was
I'm
Messi was that good, he was playing at Tottenham. Someone would pick him up, just like Gareth Bale, and they'll bring him through, and he'll do elite things like Gareth Bale did.
You're changing
Yes,
it now.
100%.
You're just changing the whole
No,
how
because
I
that's
think.
what happens in football,
No, that's not
Mohammed.
what happens in football.
If someone
There are plenty
if
of
someone's
players-
that good, bro, they don't say
Zoro was an
it.
elite player. He won shit. He won nothing. He's an elite player.
I don't know. So you can say
What
that
do you mean
about.
you don't know?
You want to say
Zoro-
that about Harry Kane then?
Harry Kane, you know what? If you want to say he's elite, you can. I don't believe it, but people can argue it, and I don't. When people say I'm not like that,
Do you not believe that?
do you believe it? Because if you do, the whole shit
With
you've
this
been
same,
backing, you have to.
with
dash
this
it
same,
out.
with this same.
I'm asking you, do you believe Harry Kane?
In terms of, he said, performing at an elite level, do you not believe that?
Because I just see how I used to watch Harry Kane's last 4 Champions League games in depth. Guy got 2 penalties and wasn't looking like he was going to score in any of them.
Neither did
No,
Mbappe.
he set up the goal in the butt. Yeah, he set up
He didn't
the.
set up the goal.
He did.
Listen,
He
don't
played-
give me that. We saw it.
He played a
the
sick
balls
ball
out,
into
but
space,
it
and then
it was a basic.
it was a.
And Alfonso Davies
such a
scored a
hater,
world-class goal.
He's
Look,
such
I'm
a
not
hater.
giving Kane
It was a
any
left foot
credit
ping
for that
over the
goal.
top. Alfonso Davies into space. Alfonso Davies then cuts inside and bangs it in.
World
Kane
class
set up the
goal.
goal, bro. That's
No,
an
he didn't
assist
set
for
up the
Kane.
goal. That was the one that- wait.
Did Kane assist that goal or not? Okay.
That goal was
He's
all
mad.
Davies.
He's mad.
Did you see
he's
that
mad.
goal? That
Yes,
was
I-
a piece of individual brilliance.
Did
That's
Davies
what that was.
did Davies carry the ball up all the way there by himself?
You might as well have done, bro. Anyone could have played. Don't try to give Kane that credit.
He did-
Look
any-
at- that goal was a piece.
He didn't say Harry Kane.
What did I say?
No, he
No, I said he assisted the goal.
As
He
the
set
step
him
there,
up.
but he didn't set him up. He didn't set
No,
him up.
he did. He
no,
set up
he
the
set
goal.
himself up. He gave him the ball. He didn't set him up.
That's okay, cool. So
Setting him up is how
he
Ronaldo
gave him the
was
ball
doing.
into space.
And then what did you know the space he shot from? He had
Not
to
the-
cut back in
yes, but-
and shoot a world class shot, bro.
Yeah.
Don't be stupid.
Listen,
He
100%.
didn't set him up.
Alfonso
He
Davies
gave him the ball.
Alfonso Davies scored a great goal, but Harry Kane had a hand in it, bro. Harry Kane assisted it.
Listen, he got the stat for an assist, but
And
he,
I
he
think
didn't help that.
I think he played very well against Arsenal as well.
No, he didn't. He
I think
didn't.
he did. I think he
would
played well.
never
against- I think
They've done something in their career.
I hear that.
And then this guy's listen, but do you think Harry Kane's elite?
I think he's an elite level player.
So he's an elite player. There's
He
no,
hasn't done anything though. That's the thing.
he has no CV. That's fine. We agree on it.
He hasn't
Do you
got,
think
got
he's
he
an
hasn't
elite
got
player?
anything elite on his CV, so you can't.
He got
I
nothing
can't say he's
to get
elite.
elite.
But I can say he's been performing at an elite level even when he was at
No,
Tottenham.
you
I'll
can
say
say
that.
he's an elite player.
But there was
he hasn't got what
the
he
same
he
reason
hasn't
when
achieved anything.
listen when he was
That's
at
the
Tottenham and he
reality.
was scoring bare goals and doing. I wouldn't say Harry Kane is elite because he was at Tottenham still, and he needed
The
to
whole
go
world
somewhere.
thought he was elite.
He needs to go somewhere that was
that
gonna.
was a general point of view. So you can be elite without having the trophies because because a lot of things go into winning something in football. It's a team game, and like I said, one player, unless you're maybe Messi, it's very hard for one player to change. Like I said, Zola was an elite player. He's one, but he didn't win shit. There have been plenty of elite players that haven't won anything because they're in bad teams or whatever. And it's the same thing with it. He hasn't won anything yet, but he's an elite manager because he's.
I think to be elite,
he's one of the top
you got to prove
practitioners.
it by winning at the elite levels,
No,
and
but
that's.
also, I don't think you can compare Harry Kane to Arteta.
Why not?
Because Harry Kane's been smashing it for many, many years. Arteta's only had one, what, not even two.
Basically, no. The point stands.
Elite level. Of
Whoever, if you can, no. The point stands. If you can be elite because you do elite things, you don't need a medal. You don't need the medal.
I think.
Then it applies for both of them.
Consistency, though. It's consistency.
But listen, this guy.
Harry Kane's
No,
consistently banging how
No.
many goals a season.
The
for last,
consistency,
like,
listen,
8 years, 6, 7,
the consistency of our Arteta is one season we finished 8th. That was probably about where we were. Every other season we've overperformed. That's the consistency. In his managerial career, he's been consistent. He's just only 4 years old. He can't give himself more time.
There we go. Then. So I don't think it's the right time.
No,
to
but he's
judge
been
him.
consistent. If you wanna,
For a short period of time.
yeah, but you can't make. You're saying
Been
that.
consistent for 2 years, not even 2 years.
Yeah, but it's harder to be consistent at the start. That actually shows more that he's elite. Because if you look at, other than Pep and Zidane, maybe Xavi now, you look at most managers' first 4 years of their career, what the fuck were they doing? Go look at Klopp's first 4 years of his career. Go look at Conte's. Go look at Tuchel. None of them were doing anything near this.
Listen, it's.
So,
The first 4 years, they weren't managing Arsenal, though, were they?
but that it shows the fact that he's able to and hasn't crumbled.
You lot took it a shot, bro. You lot
Yeah,
took it a
but the
shot.
fact that he
And
was
it paid
able
off.
to succeed shows he's an elite manager.
No, it shows
because
that he
an
has
elite
potential.
manager,
It doesn't
who
show
I
that
am
he's an
has
elite
one
manager.
word to be the fact that he was able to succeed shows he's elite. Because Emery come in, a very good manager, and he crumbled.
Even on Emery, say I'm better than you.
But Unai Emery under the same conditions crumbled.
You can say it was.
Absolutely crumbled.
You can say it
And
wasn't
this
the
guy-
same conditions.
No, it was the same.
Because I think anybody coming on after Wenger was going to fail. Same way anyone coming on after
Yeah,
Wenger was
alright,
going
but
to fail.
that's the only thing that's different. The same managers, the same players. He got given. In fact, he got given more money.
And
at
also,
the
he
start of
didn't
his
have a sporting director.
No, he did.
That he had
police
that.
director.
Yeah, but they
He
weren't
had-
good.
And some, no, they were good.
They ended up not
They
being
were
good.
good.
You know?
They bought, in fact, the players he bought weren't good. The players they bought actually turned out to be alright. They bought Saliba, for example. They bought Guendouzi, who, other than him being a little shit, was actually a good player. The players he bought, Torreira, was a piece of shit. What I'm going to say to you is, for the outlay, he was a good investment. The players he bought, players like Torreira, then try and play him number 10, that shit didn't work.
Yeah, he made some mistakes, but I think
So
that
he's
was
very
a
good-
hard job to walk into.
So
I think.
exactly,
And,
it's a hard job to walk into. The fact that he's able to succeed and not just
But he didn't have
do
Eddie
better.
where Eddie was doing now, and you're better shaped up now than
Yeah,
you were.
but
at the
first of
minute.
all, Arteta.
Josh Kroenke looks like he gives a fuck more than he did on that when Emery
Listen,
was
you're
there.
trying to
Also,
give
you
reasons
are
to take credit away.
There was no pressure for Arteta even when he came in.
No, there's
You
still
know, already
pressure.
stinking up the place.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
what has he done? He hasn't, like you said, we were stinking up the place. And within 2 seasons, he's built a team that was able to challenge, and then they weren't able to win it, but the next year he's got them even closer. So how is he not doing elite? You just literally, you're giving reasons.
Man said 2
more
seasons, he
reasons.
finished 8th, 5th.
No,
and
the
then,
season he come in 8th, he took us over. We were 12 because Emery fucked us so hard, and he took the second half of the season. He got us 8th in the FA Cup. So that 8th, you gotta give him credit for it. You can't blame him for it because he took us over.
It's still not
half
elite.
the season
It's not
gone,
elite,
and
though.
we're in 12th.
It's not elite. That's not elite. That's decent, but it's not elite.
Okay, so let's write that one off. Of the first 2 seasons, he built a squad, not just inherited players. He's gone out and built a squad.
He's done some very
And
good things, bro.
and now he's competing with the arguably. The
I don't
best
understand
manager
what.
the Premier
Listen,
League
you're
has
preaching
ever
to the
seen.
you're preaching to the choir. We're telling you he's a great manager
Yeah, but
and
you're
he's got
saying these things aren't
the
elite.
he's got the potential to be elite. These are all
things aren't elite.
these are all
These things aren't elite.
these are all signs that he might be elite, but they're not the fact that
Because
he's elite
managers
yet.
like
Because when he goes and wins these big trophies, whether it be at Arsenal or when he goes maybe leaves
not
Arsenal,
gonna be a
he goes to a
different
bigger
manager.
club, he goes to
he's not
Real
gonna be a
Madrid or
different
somewhere like
manager.
that.
He's
Yeah.
gonna be the same person. So if he's gonna be elite,
But if he
then he's
don't,
elite
yeah,
now.
but if he goes there and then ends up doing those things, fair enough. But I don't think right now, especially at Arsenal, you need to do those elite things, bro. You can't just sit there and.
He's doing elite things. Like taking
Alright.
a team from 8th to being able to finish second.
I don't think
second
challenging for the
is
title.
elite.
I don't think that is.
Okay,
elite.
how many teams?
I don't think finishing second is
How
elite.
many other managers
I don't
have
think
taken a
finishing-
team that's in eighth?
Even
and
that,
gone to
dude,
finish
did you hear what
big
you said?
games?
You just said he's finishing second. He's finishing second. Does that sound elite to you?
If, imagine, when
Eric
you
Southampton
said
was from 7th to 3rd. Is that it?
that wasn't good. You lot are still. You lot are still.
It's
talk-
good,
You
but
lot
it's
are.
elite.
Wait a minute. You lot are willing to give him a season of being shit, finishing eighth off the back of that.
No.
So that's how much you lot are impressed by that.
As well as the injuries and everything else that's happened. It's not just because of that.
So I'm
And
telling
that
you-
was one of the reasons.
Okay, so in that same league, with a team that's got was invested way less in, and when they've been together, they spent a similar amount of money in the 2 years. If you want to look at over the time that they've both been there, you might have spent more than Arsenal. He's vastly outperforming them, so he's doing elite shit. I don't know his performance because he's willing to admit he's doing elite things. So if you're doing elite things,
I don't think he's doing
more
elite
than your.
No, I said he's not done elite things. I said he's performing at an elite level.
What does that mean?
That means he's playing at the top.
means
He's
he's on
Performing
track
at elite level.
He's on the table trying to win, but he hasn't done it yet.
I said you shouldn't judge him yet because I feel like it hasn't been
No,
enough
I'm
time
going
to
to
tell.
have to judge him.
He's at the big table and he's trying to eat. But he hasn't eaten yet.
No, you're talking about Arsenal.
He hasn't taken home the steak yet. Right now he's still
If
eating
right
salad.
now, if he went to City, do you think he would have won the league? If Pep leaves this summer and then for some reason get Arteta, the league's done. I tell you that for free. Arteta will win that league. We have City team ASAP. I have no, not even the slightest doubt. And if you lot don't think he would, then you're bugging. If you're telling me right now, Arteta walks into City this summer, he doesn't win the league with that team.
Bro, Graham Souness, you know what? Winning.
Just answer the question. If he
winning
walks
the
in
league
with a
with
City team, does he win the league?
I don't know, bro. Maybe.
You don't know, Mazzy. You have
We'll
an
have to
opinion.
see,
Why
bro.
don't you answer, bro? In your opinion, if he was in charge of that
win the
City,
league with Arsenal.
exactly, and we know Arsenal, they don't have the better squad than City. He's getting everything out of that squad to be able to compete on the same level. How is that not elite? Because the guy across from him is one of the greatest managers ever, has 115 charges, and he's able to
For
compete
me,
with him.
finishing second isn't elite. I've already explained this to you.
Yeah,
can tell
because-
all day and night that this guy's done really well and he's done all this.
You know,
He
your
hasn't-
thing is, you're a hypocrite because you
He hasn't
accept
won no
context for
Champions
8th
League.
place.
He hasn't won no.
No, the thing is, you're a
Win the
hypocrite.
Champions League then.
The Champions League, he's been in there one season because the
Well,
team
that's-
he inherited
Next
wasn't good enough to
season,
get
then
in
win
there.
it. If
You
can't
said
win
you
the
want to
league-
judge him right now.
Yeah, because I can't judge him on the future. I can only judge him on the time he's
Okay,
been a manager.
You're trying to judge him for being elite, and he has.
He's performed it,
He's not
he's
won
elite
anything
manager.
other than an FA Cup.
He
That's
doesn't,
not
even if
elite.
he hadn't won the FA Cup, he's
not
elite.
Malish, it's not.
He's elite. And the fact that you man are denying it, he's elite.
that's
You
what
go
he
ask
is.
anybody in the street,
I'm
he's
not gonna
elite.
tell you.
Just like
think
Lamine
you
Yamal
don't ask
hasn't
anybody
won
in the
anything.
street.
He's an elite player.
I'm not gonna lie.
Jude
I've asked
Bellingham
like a few
hasn't won
people,
anything.
What most people have said to me, he's not elite. Like, most
Yeah,
people agree.
Jude Bellingham hasn't won anything yet, or he just won the league. Before he won the league, you could see he was an elite player.
No, he had potential.
No, he was an elite. When he was banging them goals and Real Madrid, I talk about Ballon d'Or. He was an elite player. He didn't have to confirm it with the league to be an elite player.
But he
That's
wasn't-
He's in a
stupid.
Champions League final.
What
Yeah,
happened?
now, but at the end of the season, I'm
The
saying
most
to you
elite
in
of
December,
elite clubs picked him up, and now he's straight away started.
your guy is
He's
managing an
fit.
elite club.
He's fit right in.
Listen,
He's
first of all,
doing elite things. with that
Arteta's
elite club
managing
straight
an
away.
elite club and has saved them, taking them from the mud to being able back in the place where actually respectable now. That's an elite thing.
You're respectable. You're not elite yet.
Arsenal
Until
won
it
elite.
needs
How
to
many
be-
teams in Europe are better than Arsenal? Honestly,
I think quite a lot.
quite a lot.
Arsenal. Bayern,
Okay, City,
Real Madrid,
maybe.
City.
Bayern, I don't think Bayern are
Not
better
maybe,
than
because they beat you last year to
No,
the
City,
title, and then again
we
they're gonna
see
beat you
this
probably
season
today.
haven't beaten us, and they might not win the league. So that's why I said maybe. Because all it takes is a draw. We're not asking for madness.
No, but if we look at based on what we've had so far, they've been better than you.
Okay, based on what we had so far, they haven't played games. We're top of the table. We played them 3 times this season. We haven't lost once,
That's besides
and
the
we've
point.
beaten them
It's a
twice.
30-game season.
No, it's not besides the point. You're saying that if we're looking at where we are now, if we're looking at 38-game season, they could draw to Tottenham. They haven't won there,
They could, but
so
so
we can't.
far, last season they won.
Yeah, but so far, no, it's last season they didn't win at Tottenham. So far this season,
No, not at Tottenham. They won the league last season.
I know they won the league last season. I'm talking about this season.
But you're gonna about what we can judge so far. This is what we can. This is
What?
not finished.
So you're saying you can't
So
judge this
as
season?
of the moment,
I'm
City
not
are
saying
better
to
than
you.
you. Not City are better than you. Maybe they
No,
are better than you. They
okay,
just won
but
treble.
I'm saying this
and
season-
beat you last season.
The teams that I think are
It's
better.
not. It's not. It's not.
No, this season, no, they were better than us last season. You can't say that now, 9 months after last season ended, they're still better.
So they're
Because
not
we're a better team. Right now, I think we're just as good as City, and if we might win the league, and then we will be better than them on
So then
paper.
Arteta-
If they can't beat us
So
over
then
3
why is-
games,
So okay, so if Arteta is doing all of this mad stuff, he's doing all of this crazy stuff. You think you're better than City? Then winning the league isn't that crazy.
but you know why we're better than City? Not
Win
because
the
our
league
players are better than City, but because our manager's elite, and he's created a system where we're able to get more out of our players than we should be getting. That's the only reason. The only reason we're better than City is because of our elite manager.
Well-
it's not the other way round.
I don't think it's.
I don't think we're better than City.
Another thing.
Okay, but we could win the league, and then by your logic, we would be better.
All them City players have a.
They just want to treble. Even if
They won a treble last season, yes, we know that. Last season, they were clearly the best team in Europe. I've got no qualms with it. But this season, we might be better than them. And if they draw, we'll be able to say it with chest, because, like I said, we haven't lost them this season. And we went out in the same stage of Champions League. Well, I can't understand how you wouldn't be able. How you'd have to accept it.
Because they've won. They've
My point
over the
was-
years
my
have
point was
won
you can only judge off
the
what we know
highest
so
thing.
far. This
Yeah, but
season's
this
not
season,
finished.
Leverkusen are better than Bayern. You can't talk about your 11 seasons before.
Yeah, but by Leverkusen
Because
this
Leverkusen
season-
have won it. So if we win the
This
league, we'll be
season,
better than
they've
City.
entered into that conversation. They've entered that conversation of elite. They're doing elite things.
But if we win the league this season, which is so possible, we'll be better than City.
Yeah, and that will
So
be
right
the
now, as
first.
it stands,
That will be the first
we're
elite
drawing the same
achievement that
level.
Arteta has, and then even
No,
then,
'cause
he'll
I'm
need
not
to
saying
build
to
on
you,
that
whether
to
he
really
wins
get into the
league-
conversation of being elite.
No, that's stupid. Whether he needs to,
But
then
anyway,
you talk about elite CV. But
Right.
he's the best in your head.
We need to wrap it up anyway. So, guys, thank you very much for listening. If you've been listening on the YouTube and on Frequency Radio, obviously it's been a bit of a Man United Arsenal kind of mash-up conversation over it. We haven't really talked too much about much else, but it looks like City are marching on, probably going to win the league. But we'll most definitely be back next week for the final show of the season. Then we'll take a little break. But we'll be back with lots of changes for next season, and you'll go watch the space as well because we're going to be around for the Euros. There's also a lot of charity work that, some charity work, sorry, we're going to be involved in. So watch the Instagram. If you guys want to be involved, there's going to be a lot of the Oxford community involved. So yeah, please get down and show your support there. But yeah, thank you for listening, guys. If you've been involved, give us a shout on the Instagram or anywhere else. It's been Mazin for another week.
An unnamed
Man United fan who may join us once again soon. But yeah, take care, guys. Peace and love, and we'll see you next week.